Good afternoon, guys. Hope everyone is doing well. Just give me a moment. Hello, guys. What's happening, Nuno? What's happening, Moss? You guys are good?
Hello, bro. How are you?
Oh, good, oh, good, oh, good. You guys, I can't see your cameras, by the way.
There it is.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Good afternoon, everyone on the YouTube chat. Hope everyone's doing well. Today's clean day, right? Clean price action. What's happening, Moss? Hey, guys. Hey, what's up, brother? What's up, what's up, what's up? Clean day today we have, right? Oh, we actually got news at 3 o'clock. That's good. All right, let's just consume some caffeine. Get the caffeine in our system quickly. Hopefully start this in like 5 minutes. Let me just pull up the starting student screen. Let me just finish my coffee and then we'll start, okay?
Okay, bro. Okay. Okay, okay.
All right, we're back on.
Six people here. Hello guys, afternoon. How are you? How was the weekend, guys? My partner is not here today, Himo. My entertaining partner, bro. Damn, man. Looks like gold has been kind of dropping. Yeah, bro, very nice stream on Friday. Yeah.
What happened on Friday?
Very nice stream, bro.
Really? Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice trades. Taken.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Oh, very nice. Very nice stream. I thought you said very nice trim. I was like haircut. I was like, oh, thank you, bro. Thank you. I thought you were talking about my trim. Like, oh, stream.
What's trim, bro?
Trim means haircut, bro.
Oh.
I thought you were talking about my trim. I was like, whoa, where did this guy see my trim? Like, is that how good the trim is? Jeez.
Oh my god. Stream.
Oh yeah, amazing stream. Good evening, guys. Hey, what's happening, bro? Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, starting in like the next 2 minutes or so. But yeah, gold has been low-key in this consolidation because it dropped so much on Friday due to NFP. It just synced, didn't it? What's that gratitude video, man? Quick gratitude video. I want to listen to it. Quick gratitude.
I think I have the video here.
Yeah, send me like a short one.
I have it about dedication.
Send me a very short one.
Short one, like 5 minutes?
No, less.
4 minutes?
2 minutes.
Okay.
4 minutes is too long, my friend. Just search up any, and then you can go to the filters and search up the length of the filters. Bro, after drinking coffee, my body starts sweating. It's crazy, man. It gets so hot. I like keeping my jacket on, even though the heating in my room is on. Crazy. What's happening? Good evening, guys. Well, it's good afternoon over here. Not really good evening, but probably wherever you are, it's good afternoon. Who's watching, guys? Let us know in the chat. Good afternoon. You got one, Nuno, or no?
Not really, bro. Not kind of 3 minutes.
I think you look fresh today, bro. Did you start going gym now?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Just took a shower, bro.
Bro, you have to be careful with that one. Now, next time people are gonna see you looking tight, they're like, did you not take your shower?
Bro, that's because the probably the bird.
Oh,
bird.
Okay.
Yeah, because I made it.
Guys looking fresh today for the stream. That's what we like to see, man. That's what we like to see. Fresh looks.
Just made it on Saturday.
Good afternoon. What's happening, Jay? Good afternoon, bro. Hope you're doing well. Alright, bro. By the time you give us this gratitude video, my inner gratitude is done, bro. I've done it. We don't need to do it anymore. Alright, let's start the analysis.
Oh, okay.
I've done inner gratitude, bro.
I'm gonna keep this one for tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll keep it for tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to start the analysis now. Let's do this. Okay, lovely jubbly. Risk management, playbook, stream.
That's daily tracking.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's start this. Oh, look at the monthly though. Monthly is kind of like giving you that Wakefield scenario to the downside, isn't it? It really is. So I think the main thing we kind of need to trade is the monthly candle, kind of see where it wants to go, because the previous monthly does have that imbalance to the top side, but at the same time we kind of need to worry about the monthly candle that's open at the moment, right? And I think the daily lows will be the current monthly lows as well, right? I'm pretty sure they will be. So these are your daily lows now on the intraday, and have a major imbalance to the top side on the daily. 4H is kind of giving you a double bottom scenario. Going on the monthly at the moment, yeah. So the monthly lows as well as the daily lows are the same. Looking to the left, we are retesting this resistance level. So what's a couple of things that can take place on monthly? Well, either Wakefield to the downside. If it is a Wakefield scenario, then we need to sell the markets, short the markets, and need an opportunity to short the markets. Otherwise, a rejection scenario. And if it does reject, looking to the left, we have clean traffic up till this range. So either price can break below 1938, start selling off, or price can give you a pullback. And so just on the monthly alone, right, the first pullback level should be the 1950 level, which is a major psychological level anyway, right? So going back to the weekly, okay, that's your weekly highs. Previous weekly kind of ended up closing as a breather candle, and we know these breather candles usually give you a selling confirmation. It shows that there is a lot of selling momentum in the markets, right? So this candle here has the opportunity of kind of like, you know, breaking the lows and selling off. So what we can do is we can start to investigate the daily range, right? This is where we investigate our daily range, because we've got different targets on the daily now, right? Gold is quite bearish. We know one of the scenarios on the monthly is the Wakefield and break scenario. So we have the monthly Wakefield and break scenario. Bro, do we have this here? Monthly Wakefield scenario?
I think not, bro.
So Wakefield scenario, because the thing is, right, either they will give you a Wakefield and break, or they will give you a Wakefield and rejection sort of thing, right? So monthly Wakefield scenario, let's just write M Wakefield, monthly Wakefield scenario. So M Wakefield, let's mark that out, because that's one thing I'm really interested in. Cheers,
Just
bro. Thank you, appreciate that. So there you go, we have the M Wakefield scenario setting up. So let's say if they do want to give you a Wakefield to the downside, we need to look for some sort of short positions, right? This is where now I'm quite interested in this scenario as long as your intraday is bearish, right? There is a lot of momentum in the markets to the downside. So I'm not really interested in any sort of a reverse, or I'm not interested in trading against the trend, which is to the downside. So this is where now, if we can measure our daily range at this point, right? Look at your daily. As long as we are trading below this area that we have, looking to the left as well, which is the support area, as well as a major rejection area here, we can see price coming down to retest the lows. And once we do see the retest of the lows, right, how much has the daily moved altogether? It has moved about, well, it's moved about 100 pips now. So you could see gold moving another 100 pips to the downside, right? This is where you can see that Wakefield and break scenario to the downside. So anyway, this is where, as traders now, we need to mark out the mid range on the daily, which is the 1944.12. And what we need to look for now is either a sign of rejection from up here, maybe a 15 to 30 minute confirmation to look for a short position back to the downside, because again, technically the daily's bearish, everything's bearish, or otherwise if we can get some sort of a topside play in the markets, let's say either from up here, then we can look for that sort of wick full end break scenario to the top side. Then we've got a lot of room to the top side, just going based on the previous daily alone, right? But I want to trade within this intraday range at the moment, and even just looking at the 4H at the moment, right? Look what it has done. It's technically given you an upper wick, and it's still an open candle, so you still have another 54 minutes left, right, before this candle here comes to a closure. So we do need some sort of a confirmation, right? But what we can do is we can also calculate the range just going based off the previous 4H. So everything's quite bearish at the moment. Everything is quite bearish. Even your 4H is quite bearish. You guys can see it for yourself over here. Everything is quite bearish. There we go. Super bearish. And at this point now, major levels for us on the intraday will be obviously this level here. This is the pullback level, just on the 4H, right? 42.48. Let's mark this out. There you go. Let's go down to the lower time frames now. Look at 1H. Okay, the previous 1H ended up closing as a major rejection candle. We can see a massive wick to the downside, suggesting a lot of buying momentum in the markets now. So if this candle does start to now give you that sort of confirmation above this area, or let's say if we have a closure above the resistance level that we have on the 1H, then technically yes, we can start aiming for that topside play in the markets, right? Because then what's happening is we're coming up for the daily highs, and the scenario we can look for is daily 50% breakout, and we have the daily highs retest. There you go. So these are the two scenarios which really can work out. And once we have the daily highs reset scenario, this is where you can see the daily highs. Bro, do you have the, where's the daily highs breakout? Okay, daily highs breakout or daily highs fake out. No, that's daily lows breakout, my bad.
You need to write like daily on full, I think.
Okay, yeah, there you go. So we have the daily highs breakout scenario. Well, let's say if they do want to give us the daily highs breakout now, your targets looking to the left will essentially be that sort of correction level. Well, the previous candle was actually super bearish, right? So it will be a little bit tricky looking for a full correction to the top side, because we know that daily can give you about 200 pips today. So kind of looking for something like this is not really fair. It's not realistic, right? Since we don't have, well, we do have news coming in at 3, but before 3 is a little bit tricky. So we can technically just go based off our 4H areas, right? So just looking to the left now. Well, once we do start to clear, go past this resistance level, which we have below the daily lows, looking to the left, we've got this next bit of rejection area approaching. So yeah, this could be something you start targeting next, since it makes plenty of sense, because again, this is the sort of structure gold has left behind, and so they do need to technically give you that retest, right? So it makes sense for some sort of a topside retest of the 1950 level. If 1950 gets broken, then you've got around 1955 if 1950 is a genuine breakout. Until then, again, let's just not even worry about this, right? Because I just want to focus in this range. I just want to focus at the daily range at the moment. Again, look at your 1H, right? 1H, previous 1H ended up closing as a massive rejection candle, right? So some sort of a closure above this will give you a really decent confirmation to look for those buy positions, right? So either we're looking for some sort of a closure above this area for a buy position, or we are looking for some sort of a rejection from here to again start shorting the markets, right? It's super simple. So let's mark this out. We've got double resistance here. We know anything above this, gold will start to fly, right? But until then, we know anything that kind of like gives you a rejection from up here. Let's say, as an example, right, if I'm looking for a buy position from up here, I know price could also start shorting, because either it will be a fake out or it will be a breakout, right? So let's say if they want to start shorting the markets from here, right? Let's say, imagine they gave you this candle here, giving you a support candle. Next candle ends up being a massive bullish candle, gives you a retest, ends up closing something like this, right? How far is this? Let's measure this. It's only 30 pips away. And so now this is where it becomes interesting, right? Because we've seen it happen many times, right? The next 1H can technically cause a fake out, right? So these highs over here will become super important for us, because if the next one technically opens, right, it gives you some sort of a wick and it doesn't break past this area by 5 pips, it can start rejecting and start closing back below this resistance. And this is where you have the resistance candle now. The next candle can technically become a confirmation candle, and they can start shorting the markets again, right? So that's something we need to look out for. It's not very simple looking for a buy position at the moment, especially when the markets are super bearish, right? We know that some sort of a correction is required in the markets, but in order for us to kind of like capitalize on any sort of scenario, we need to look for confirmations. Otherwise we can have a bias in our head, and that can put us, that can get us in a lot of trouble. I've done that, in the past, where I would build a bias of just looking for a correction, and the markets are just in a plain downtrend. So I'm looking to kind of like go against the trend, and that's where I used to get in a lot of trouble. And now one thing I've come to realize is, okay, just don't have a bias in your head and just look for what the markets give you. If you have a clean range and the buy as well as the sell opportunity is there, just give it a go. You don't need to just look for one thing, right? You can be very fluid in the markets in that sense, right? So that's kind of what we will be doing today. Just be super fluid in the markets. Even looking at the 4H, you guys can see it's just clean downtrend at the moment. We do not have anything so far, but at the same time now, with the next 4H approaching soon, well, in the next 48 minutes, we can have something setting up either to the top side, because you got to think about it, right? Imagine if this 4H actually ends up closing as a rejection candle. So let's visualize this. This 4H here ends up closing super bullish, something like this. Let's say we have a super bullish 4H candle, leaves a massive wick, ends up closing something like this, leaves some sort of an upper wick as well for the next candle. Next candle being the new 4H. Now we know the behavior of the markets. It can kind of just explode past this area, or it can give you a very nasty rejection, causing a fake out. Two scenarios. It can give you this sort of play as well, some sort of a wick, and then some sort of a downside play. So these are the two scenarios which can play out with the new 4H as well. So again, today is a Monday. There's no need to kind of like rush into anything. Just need to have patience and see what sets up. But above this, I will be interested in a buy position, since you're making the daily 50% invalid. And once you do start to make the daily 50% invalid, there is a very high chance now you will see gold flying up till the daily highs. And from this resistance up till the daily highs is 50 pips. It's easy 50 pips. So we technically just need to see a closure above this. So let's put this up on the screen. Buys above here. And let's move this to the top. There you go. So that's kind of what I am interested in. But at the same time, I said even a sell position makes sense from here. It really depends on what sort of closure we get up here and how the candle after reacts. So one candle will be the closure candle. The candle after will be the candle that sort of either gives you a breakout or a fake out. So we do need to wait for those confirmations at the moment. So let's see. It's just a waiting game at this point. previous 30 minute ended up closing with around 40 pips, you know. That's actually very decent momentum for pre-NY, isn't it? It's actually very decent momentum. And now this NY open candle is just giving you a low. You guys can see how slow the first 15 minutes were, right? This is why I like to avoid the first 30 minutes of the New York Open. It's super slow, super choppy. Sometimes it's very volatile, but what it does is it likes to trick you. So the scenario could be, you have, let's say you have this, you have the 4H level. If you're looking for a 4H violation up here, then you can technically get the retest of the daily 50%. And if it goes past that daily 50% level, then obviously you've got the next key level up here.
First 30 minutes. They always like to trick people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the daily, it's a clean candle. It's honestly a clean candle. To the downside, and the thing is, right, either they want to give you a break out of this area or reject this area, and they haven't really shown you any sort of signs of rejection just yet. It's just a clean pullback on the 4H. At the same time, it is forming this double bottom formation down here though. That's one thing we have to consider. The 1H again, previous 1H left a massive wick to the downside now. Massive wick. But yeah, you know, what we need to do is, you need to give me the, you know, do we have everything that tracked what we've done previously in the streams, like how many wins and losses we've had. We need to calculate that, and then I'll put it on the stream as well, just to keep like a track of everything.
Yeah. Let's do this month.
Just, you know, all the previous data we have, we can just do it. It's fine.
All? Okay.
Yeah, the one we've done on the streams. Not like all as in like from 6-7 months ago, you know, like just the past 2 weeks or so. Yeah. Every time you hear, bro, I can hear the birds chirping as well.
Yeah, bro, it's sun, bro, today. Birds are hot there.
That's sick, man. The weather over there is crazy. 1 minute it's like storm, and then the next minute there's the sun out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I need some more caffeine today. That coffee has not hit. It hasn't hit me.
Okay, let's calculate.
But look at the way they're sort of trading again back below this resistance level. Technically, because again, you gotta think about it, right? What was the job of this candle? It was to technically give you a correction. So if this candle ends up making the previous candle invalid, then there's a very high chance that you can see gold again dropping all the way back down if we make this support level invalid. And if we understand the concept of the daily range, we know that there are different levels that we will play within, and then within those levels there will be different scenarios and you know, certain scenarios are very high probability scenarios, especially when you only have a 100 pip range and the market is super bearish, and then we have that monthly wakeful scenario just creeping up here. There's a really high chance that they can give you another short position. So even below this, I will be interested in a short position, because looking to the left now, once we actually clear past this support area that we have, we actually don't have anything to the left until we actually start tapping into this area. So it actually has those clean 30 pips now. And I think the job of this candle is pretty much done now, isn't it? And this is technically the same sort of area we are rejecting. This is your breather candle, caused a massive pump from here, and then yeah, I think a nice short position can really set up from here. Nice decent short position. And then from there, you've got the daily lows potentially setting up as well. Because the daily's only moved about 100 pips, it's a very clean scenario. It's not that you're going against the 200 pip range on the daily and you're setting the daily lows when, you know, daily's exceeded its intraday limit. It hasn't. It still needs to technically give you a new low. And yeah, the monthly Wickfield scenario makes perfect sense, honestly. If we can get closure below this, because again, looking to the left, right, it's kind of a tricky area and we do need to deal with this area. And then from here, you have a clean range down to this level here. You can start securing some sort of profits just before this area gets hit, and then you can let the rest sort of just run. But we need this candle here to make the previous candle invalid, because this candle has two things that it can do now: either a pullback, break, and a bullish closure, right? And if they do give you a bullish closure, most likely because the next candle wants to come up to retest this resistance level, or the job of this candle was to give you some sort of pullback. So if you just look at the structure now, look at this, it's just a pullback. And so if the pullback is done now, this candle technically needs to make the previous candle invalid. So it means it needs to either close below this support area that we have, or it needs to break the lows over here. And anything below this will give you a nice clean 27 pip drop minimum. Since your 4H is bearish, everything is super bearish as of yet, and you have like a 40 pip SL, and you have a very clean 62 pip range, to be fair. And on this you can secure, yeah, you can secure 50% on this, and let the 50% trading stop loss if it sets up here on the break of the lows.
Okay.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. SO's go above this area here because they're rejecting the 4H 50% area now, so technically giving you a pullback. And this is the fake out which we discussed. Even looking to the left, they are rejecting this resistance level, or as I said, two things this candle will do: either this is just a plain and simple pullback and now they give you a bullish closure up here somewhere, potentially taking the price up, and then this will be the first structure we have to deal with, and this is the secondary structure we want to actually see gold breaking past, because this is the structure at your daily 50% we really want to see gold breaking past, and that's when your buy position becomes valid. Until then, you are technically just looking for those reversals, right? So sells below here. So yeah, let's see. And then this is technically, or you're becoming your, because you have a double bottom here now, realistically talking now, third time, the more you retest a level, the weaker the level gets, right? Especially when there is momentum and volatility in the markets. So this is where your daily lows breakout scenario is also setting up, because it makes perfect sense, right? When you think about it, the daily lows breakout scenario setting up with your monthly wick fill scenario. So you have those higher time frame confluences. The daily range is bearish, 4H is super bearish. We just technically need some sort of a confirmation below this, since this is the 4H level we have to deal with. And then once we sort of deal with this level and start going past this level, then you've got all of this range to the downside, technically the wick fill areas, right? And yeah, I think it's a very nice position, and this position can really play out. Looking at the 30 minutes, anything below this area gives you such a nice drop, honestly. One tricky area that we have is this area here. This is where you want to make it risk-free. I think 36 is when you want to make it risk-free. Break of this will be the entry, so first 17 pips will be your area. Make it risk-free here. Okay, it's setting up, guys. There you go. It's about to cause a fake out. The minute we start to break below this, you want to make it risk free there. That would be your TP1. This would be your TP2. And then once we start going past this, then you've got the last TP3 there, and then the monthly wick fill scenario is like the max. This is the TP3. And then you've got your monthly scenario, which is the monthly wick fill scenario, which is the TP, the max TP, right? Which is 1931. And there we go. Half one candle coming to a closure in the next 3 minutes or so. Any trades taken yet? No, no trades have been taken yet. There we go. See, now again, you need to understand, right? What is the job of this candle? The job of this candle was to give you a pullback. 4H 50% level is being respected, and now it's rejecting, right? So this is where you need to measure the range again on this candle. And going based off the previous candle, any sort of a closure below this technically makes the previous candle invalid. Are we going to look for a sell position going based on this area? No, it will be a little bit tricky, because the job of the next candle will be to either retest and break this level, or retest and close back above. So you do want to be extra bit careful. I think some sort of closure below this will be your best friend, honestly. I think that's why sells below here will be your best bet. And now if this candle here technically does give you a closure below this, next one starts to break below, we can just look for a 15-minute confirmation down here and then look for the downside play. But yeah, there you go. Look at the rejections. Very nice rejections. The markets are bearish. Nice. Okay, let's look at the 15 minutes at the moment. Yeah, ooh, you see that breather candle in the 15-minute? Wow. Nice, 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 nice. This one's giving you a breakout. The thing is, right, looking for sells here is tricky because of this area that we have. But once we actually do go past this area, which is also your 4-hour support area as well, then we've got such a clean range to the downside. So that's the only area I'm concerned about. Once we do start to go past it, then we know that we've got such a clean range to the downside, and to a certain extent you do need to ignore some of the noise to the left, and this is where you are seeing a closure below the previous support. But again, we have to deal with this area here first, and then we've also got to deal with this area. So I would prefer to stay out of the markets at the moment, but I think this is setting up really, really nicely now. Really, really nicely. Now again, break of the daily lows can give you a very nice drop. It really can. But where will your SOs be though? That's the question. Where the SOs will go. Oh, you could have a safe SO at 1941.55. Because again, think about it, right? They're driving the price down once again now. First time rejected, second time rejected. What business do they have now? Again, retesting the same key level. Because if this was a collection of orders, they've rejected the price once, twice, 3 times now. So most likely at this point now, if they start to break past this area again, most likely is because they want to drive the price down. And we do have the monthly wick fill scenario to the downside, right? But I think just because it's such a nasty rejection area at the same time, 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections, safest thing to do is to wait for some sort of confirmation, such as a closure. But this is where you need to be willing to miss out on this, because most likely it will be super aggressive, right? Super aggressive. You can see price rejects from this area here. You've got, once you do go past this area, then you've got, see, this area here is a little bit tricky. Yeah, I think we will be waiting for the closure. Yeah, no impulsive entries here. It's a Monday. Don't need to take impulsive entries. We will be waiting for a closure for sure. It's an impulsive entry, doesn't make sense. It can pay off, but if you look at the rejections, there are too many rejections at this point. 4H has given you the pullback though. It has given you the pullback, and most likely when it does break below, it wants to come down and give you some sort of a wick fill. And if you look to the left, right, even on the 4H at this point, right, the first wick fill area will technically be this area, you know, logically looking at this will be your first wick fill area. So because what's the job of this 4H now? Either to break out or to reject. But once we have the wick fill area, which is this area, then either you will reject again after retesting this area or start dumping down to the next area. So we need to be careful as traders now, and I think wait for gold to give us some sort of a confirmation below this. And as soon as we go past this area, because it's such a tricky area and there is not much of a range, and you're also trading the daily lows, I think it's best to wait for some sort of a confirmation below this. So yes, I will be staying out of this, willing to miss out on this. Need some sort of a closure below. It's a very nice trade, but again, it's a Monday, so we will be waiting for a closure below. Because look at the kind of rejections that you get from here, right? It's not area that you want to take lightly, you know. It gives you a really massive rejection, and when you think about it, right, what kind of scenario can set up from here? If you know gold can give you a rejection from here, gold can also reject this area, then it's becoming the fake out scenario on the daily lows, right? The daily lows fake out scenario. So I think it's best to kind of like avoid this sort of play at the moment, because look how much markets have dropped even without any sort of a retest to the top side, right? So I think it is kind of safe to wait for some sort of a confirmation below this area. But again, if we look to the left now, right, that's another support area on the 4H. So 4H is playing based off wick fills, right? It's the wick fills on the 4H, because 4H has different targets. So that's another support area on the 4H if you actually think about it. And then as soon as you go past this area, you've got this area coming up. So my issue with this is it's kind of hard to trade this range, because the minute it starts to break past it, it's got rejections setting up. As soon as we go past this area, it's got rejection areas approaching in 4 pips. Go past it, another 3-4 pips, you got another rejection area. Now you got 16 pips rejection, another rejection, another reject. There's too many rejections. But if we do kind of let it sell off, maybe even give us the wick fill scenario to the downside, we know the new 4H open, there will obviously be that opportunity. And it's a Monday, I want to be conservative. I don't want to push it too much. I want to be very conservative, have a good psychological day, and the only way I can have a good psychological day is by securing a win. So I want to be very, very conservative today. I don't want to rush into this. Yeah, it makes perfect sense, but at the same time, the issue with this is these rejection areas, because until we actually have a closure, we don't know how price will kind of like close. But if we can wait for this 30 minutes now to give us a very decent closure, then obviously next 30 minute can do something. But at the same time, this kind of hit does not even have a sustainable upwick. And we know how every single time when there is not, crazy amount of volatility, 30 minutes will always give you that upper wick, the sustainable upper wick. So let's wait for this. Bro, I'm gonna go grab an energy drink. I'll be right back, yeah? Take over from here.
Okay. So, information. How are you, my bro? How you have been? Information hub. Oh man. Good afternoon, Jay. You guys can always send the links some Discord to Discord, like of your trades, of your ideas. We can discuss that on a live stream, okay? If you guys have some ideas, you can always send it to Discord. We have a section for members analysis, and you can always post there. We're gonna take a look. I'm gonna put the Discord link here if you guys wanna share your ideas. Yeah, bro, Moss, if you want, you can share your idea there if you want. Let's see, guys, if the trade... We are not taking this, okay? Because it's kind of impulsive, but let's see how it plays, like a paper trade. Okay. It was a nice decision. Too many rejections. If you guys have some questions, something, you can always ask me on the chat of the live stream, or even on Discord. As I say, you can always share your ideas, your analysis on Discord. We have a section for that, member analysis, and we're gonna take a look here on stream, or even on YouTube. I think you guys can send it on YouTube. You just need to copy I think the link. No, let me see. Yeah, you just need to send the last thing, like the X. Yeah. Hey guys, that's a Monday. It's a waiting game. Waiting. Trading is 90% waiting, 10% execution.
Yeah, see, that rejection is nasty.
Yeah.
That's why stay out of it. Stay out of it. You didn't take it, did you?
No.
Okay. Yeah, stay out of this. Nasty rejection. That's why I want to stay out of this. Wait for that confirmation. Let's go.
Didn't broke 5 pips even.
Yeah, so no. Don't take it at the moment because we have to deal with this 4H support. And we also need to deal with this support here, and it just doesn't make sense because you don't have that intraday range to trade within. Even though the scenario does make plenty of sense, the Wakefield scenario and the monthly, everything is super bearish. But again, we need to understand that daily is open. It can reject this, it can reject this. All it needs to do is just retest that one area which has plenty of orders to the top side, and then from there you'll see the nastiest rejection on gold. So we need to just stay out of it, honestly. Man, I've gone back to being addicted to caffeine, man. Honestly. I think that's why I'm getting migraines every day, bro, because I'm drinking too much caffeine. Maybe that's the reason.
I don't know, because it can be, bro, because caffeine accelerate the metabolism. So
yeah, but I think it's helping me stay lean, so I like it. It has its benefits, it has its benefits because I don't get hungry till late, bro. And so look at that rejection, just how we anticipated. You see the way it rejected? Wow.
The second half of New York Open, bro.
Look at that rejection, bro. That's the thing, right? It's always the second half of the NY Open that gives you the confirmation.
Tricks.
Exactly. So now think about it. If we get a closure above this now, most likely we're coming up to retest the top side level, which is this area. And so if there is a trade opportunity up here, we could take a buy position. Let's say something along the lines of this, because it will have plenty of room to the top side, right? Yeah, look at that. But let's see what kind of closure we get on this candle first, because at the moment, again, what is the job of this candle? Like, guys, always ask this question, right? What is the job of your open candle? You know, the current open candle, what is the job of this candle? This is the question I ask myself every time, right? Like, honestly, if you can kind of like think about this every single time, like what? Oh. Because look, is that's kind of how I see price. So what is the job of your candle, the open candle? And so now two things: either give you a pullback, clean up a wick, and then again reject and close below, or the job of this candle here is to just give you a nasty rejection from this area and make the previous candle invalid. So we have some levels now, just going based of the previous candle. There you go. And to the top side, we have plenty of range on the daily. We have plenty of range to the top side. So we can look for the buy position, but we need a confirmation on this candle. And this is why I don't like trading NY open. It always does this. First is literally the second half of the NY open, the second half of the first hour. It always gives you something else compared to the first half of the hour. That's why I just like to stay out of this, especially on Mondays. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, let's see what this candle does. What is the job of the current candle? So again, guys, write it down in the chat. What do you guys think is the job of this candle? I think the job of this candle is to either give you an upper wick and then again reject, or it's to just go past this area and close above here. Well, realistically talking, if that would be a really massive candle. But maybe job of the next candle could be to retest this area here. So always think about it, right? Bro, I'll be right back, okay? Gonna wait for this to set up.
Okay.
I kind of don't like being on charts anymore when I'm waiting for these candles. I just like to walk around, keep my mind active, you know, look at the views. Man, the views are so beautiful from my office, honestly. Just walk around, you know, explore, meet some kind Chinese people. There's so many Chinese people, man, over here. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, bro, normally the Chinese people are very kind, man.
Bro, these lot are like...
Very chill, you know.
Bro, they smart as well, man. These Chinese people,
Yeah,
in the office,
very
they're
smart.
Most of these guys are traders and anyway, I think. But these are like top tier traders, you know. But I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay.
Gonna go make new Chinese friends.
Okay. Hey guys, feel free to share your ideas, your questions. You guys are too quiet, man. Too quiet today.
Lol, after people, afternoon. Oh, what's happening, your bear? What's happening? What's happening, bro? You good? But yeah, look at the rejection now. See, with the new 4H, right? Because we know it will majority of the times just go one way. So if we can get this 4H at this point giving us a rejection for the third time now, with the next 4H, most likely we will see this play in the markets, most likely. So again, I think the 4H has kind of like given you a new low at this point, hasn't it? So just on the current 4H now, your 50% area has been extended just a little bit more now. If we can get like a bullish flip on this, the next 4H can really give you, ooh, you see it,
Yeah.
because the 4H majority of the times goes one way. That's the thing, right? Either this candle closes as technically a breather candle, bullish breather candle, and next 4H gives you that wick fill and break to the downside. Maybe they want to again give you the drop but with the new 4H, or it would be a clean wick fill. Because think about it again, what's the job of the next 4H candle? Well, before the next 4H candle even opens, what are markets showing you? Well, if we are trading below this area, then technically your 4H is bearish. Then this just becomes a pullback. But if this is a really massive rejection now, you are rejecting the daily lows. Guess what they have done? They have generated a lot of liquidity now, right? They've taken the daily lows out. They have grabbed the orders that they wanted to grab, because again, think about it, if they want to take the price up, they need to grab the cheapest price possible. So where is the cheapest price possible on the intraday if they want to now start pushing the price up for the rest of the day? Well, the cheapest price will be the daily lows, right? So this is also that daily lows fake out scenario, which you technically are seeing at the moment in your hold up, daily lows fake out. Yeah, there is. So this is the scenario we are seeing now, is setting up in front of our eyes, right? So if they do start to break above the 50% level which we have on the 4H, then the next target will become your next resistance, which is the daily 50% resistance, which is up here. And you know, that's why we are looking for a buy position above there. But at the same time, with the new 4H open, I'm not really expecting a really massive correction on it because we understand the behavior of the next 4H candle. I think something like this makes plenty of sense, honestly. Take a breakout above this, yeah, with the new 4H open. Oh, I think this is it. It's gonna start pushing up very nicely. Let's wait for the next 4 minutes and let's look for that top side position. I think it really does make sense if they do start to go past this resistance level here, then they should be able to retest, you know, the 44 level. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is.
Waiting for the 4 hour?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Because the 4 hour can still open and cause a fake out. So you wanna really wait. It's just 4 more minutes.
It's a Monday.
Yeah, and it goes one way anyway. And so at this point with the 130 confirmation there, it's a very nice confirmation. Take it with the next 4H breakout, okay? SL's kind of like below the support area here, so your SL's will be about
even max pullback probably, no? On this candle.
No, a little bit bigger, bro, a little bit bigger. Yeah, yes, it's the same. Yeah, keep it below
5 pips below.
Yeah, 5 pips below. Yeah, 5 pips below. You know this rejection area here as well, kind of like give it a little bit of room to breathe, because you do have the easily 50-60% can be secured, and secure 60% to the top side. Okay. Yeah, makes plenty of sense, to be honest. Okay, we've got about 3 minutes left at this point, and the minute you see a retest of this resistance, make it risk free no matter what. Okay, because the resistance is a dangerous area. Oh boy, they're not gonna wait for us. See, that's the thing with the new 4H. It might just be open and clean pump past everything. Look at this 4H now. There it is. It's becoming. Let's wait for it. 2 more minutes left. I will tell you if the entry is valid. Okay, don't take it just on the breakout. Let me tell you first if the entry is valid. Not at the moment, because the next one can still cause a fake out. But again, job of this candle is done now. They've done whatever they wanted to do. Another massive pullback. It's done now. So the next candle is the candle we are interested in. Job of the next candle is to give you a retest up here, and well, we do want the pullback to be minimum since it is the 4H, and we want an aggressive breakout to the top side. Has to be super aggressive. 1 more minute left. The only issue I have with this is the oh, they are technically giving you a pullback now, aren't they? Just on the 15-minute, because again, if it's an aggressive 15-minute play, then they will give you a minimum pullback up down to this level here. So they are starting to give you that pullback now. Look at this. So the 1 minute needs to reject from this area. Yeah, so 1 minute rejection down to this area, rejection. Okay, 1 more minute left. Don't take it at the moment. Don't take it. It's too high at the moment. Don't take it. Okay, stay out. Stay out at the moment. Let go. Let do his thing. It's fine. Let go. We'll wait for something above there, because the range is just not there. It's not there, because the job of this candle is to technically give you a retest of this area, and so once the retest is done, it's only about like yeah, it's not worth it.
For needs to be like 5 pips above, so
it will pump now, but it's just not worth taking it. It's really not. Leave it. Yeah, just leave it. Stay out.
Yeah, we can always wait a daily 50%.
Exactly.
Breakout or fake out. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, stay out for now. It will pump up, but we'll look for something above there, because they can give you a very nice U-turn from up there anyway. Start shorting the markets at that point. But yeah, just leave it for now.
We're gonna go to out real quick, okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's the pressure which usually kicks in with the new 4H open, but it's best to avoid this at the moment because of the range. The range doesn't allow us to take this just yet. I think a safe bet will be to clear this mess here to the left. Once we do start clearing this mess here, then we'll go very nice clean range. Yeah, just have to kind of deal with this messy area here that we have, really. So when you actually think about it, right, because you were such a nasty mess here to the left, it's really hard for you to even look for a breakout up here, because they can cause a very nice fake out due to this major resistance area here. They can cause a very nice fake out. What they can do is technically give you a break past this area and there start retesting this, because the thing is, right, you got to think about it. Anything above this now, what they can do is, so this is what I was talking about, right? I'm saying from this area they can give you a very nasty rejection and a fake out, kind of like they can start closing the price back below the daily 50%. So that's why I want to avoid sort of taking anything to the downside, to the top side just yet. But the minute we have like a clean range sort of above this area, from there, daily target, the daily highs is the target. But when you again look at this range, right, you don't really have much. That's the issue. You don't have much. You've got so many rejections approaching. I mean, it is your daily range, and we're playing the game of probabilities, and most likely if this candle here does not cause a fake out from this area, then most likely it will be a very nice pump, right? But at the same time, again, look at your 4H. We know that 4H double top always shows up. Like, it shows up 70% of the times, if I'm not incorrect. And so if we know something like that shows up, and we know looking to the left, we have to deal with this area here, and markets are actually super bearish. Does it make sense for you to kind of take a buy position just yet?
Because now the trade needs to be break even by now.
The
trade needs to be break even by now, you know.
Like, yeah,
because we are approaching that the resistance.
Yeah. This is where you want to make it break even for sure. If you took it, guys. But for us, now stayed out of it. But you do want to make it break even at this point now. If you took it, the trade idea did play out exactly how we said it will play out. And now most likely we'll keep on pumping, and you can kind of just let it run. But to be fair, this should be where you want to take your profits now anyway, right? It's giving you nice 15 pips, 20 pips. It's more than enough. I'm going to start taking some profits here, but yeah. We did anticipate something like this, because with the 4H momentum, it does give you something very aggressive, right? It really does.
And now starts to reject.
Yeah, exactly. Because now that they have given you a retest of this, if this candle does close as, let's say, a rejection candle, then on the next candle, I'm really interested in taking the short position, because you got to think about it, right? The previous candle closed bullish, but at the same time, either this candle will, because the thing with the 4H is, right, it likes to move just in one direction. That's one thing about the 4H. So if they do give you a nasty rejection on this candle, then I'm looking to short the markets, right? Because now you've actually got plenty of range. Let's say it does sort of start to close back below this, next one breaks the lows, it's becoming a plain and simple fake out, man, and then you've got plenty of range to the downside. So I think a lot of the times you have to kind of be willing to miss out on those impulsive moves. Just wait for something that's clean and then take it. So that was my reasoning for staying out of this, because I don't have any sort of FOMO. Just join the stream, you in the trade. No, we have not taken a single trade just yet, but we did give this idea out and it played out to the T. But no, we haven't taken anything yet. We're still waiting for a high probability setup, and we will take it when it shows up. We've got such a nice range to the top side as well as to the downside, and we've also got news coming in at 3 o'clock. So today will be one of those sessions that you will get a trade. You just need to kind of wait for your confirmations, right? And it's a Monday. It really is a Monday. You don't need to force a trade, because think about it, right? What will this candle do now? You've still got 30 minutes left before this comes to a closure. If this candle technically becomes a fake out candle, retest of the resistance, fake out, rejecting the daily 50%, does it really make sense for you to take a trade here when the daily 50% is just creeping up here? It doesn't, guys, because if they reject the daily 50%, give you a closure back below the 4H 50%, guess what? On the next candle, I'm shorting the markets, best believe, because we are looking for the monthly wick fill and break scenario. So monthly wick fill scenario is very realistic today, because it's only about 57 pips away from the daily lows. If, let's say, monthly wick fill was 400 pips away, then I would not be obviously looking for something like this. But because it's so close to the current price, I'm looking for this scenario. And so again, it's not that I have a bias. I just want to be safe and I want to wait for extra bit of confirmation. That's all it is. That's all it is. I want to be safe. I want to see gold breaking past that daily 50%. And when it breaks past that daily 50%, then fair enough. Until then, we've given this trade idea out that we personally did not execute on because of the range. But yeah, if you took it, your TP area was this resistance area, as we mentioned. You want to take something here, make it break even, and you want to let the rest run. Guys, this game is all about being patient, willing to just stay out of something that you do not like. That's what this game is about. And if you can consistently do that on a daily basis, that's what it means to be a professional trader. Being a professional trader doesn't mean that you take everything that comes your way, right? Being a pro at this game means that you stay out of 90% of the things that markets throw your way. You gotta have that willpower to say, no, I don't like this, I'm staying out of this. And if you can do that, then guess what? You can wait for your setup, and when that 10% setup shows up, or the 5% setup, or the 6%, it depends, I don't know your edge, but when the setup that you're looking for shows up, you execute without hesitation, because you're then just letting the game of probabilities play out. You're just letting your edge play out. You're making it really systematic. But for me, it didn't make sense, right, to take this because of this double resistance to the left. But once we do clear this resistance, then it makes a lot of sense for me to start looking for something to the top side, right? Because I understand that 4H gives you a one-sided play in the markets. It just moves one way. It doesn't give you any deeper pullbacks. So if we do start to exceed this area here, and it does not give me a double top, then fair enough. Until then, I know there is that possibility of a double top, so I want to be extra cautious near this area. Because why am I being extra cautious near this area? Look to the left, guys. There's a resistance here, and there is a resistance here. And guess what? This 4H is an open candle. You guys need to understand that closures are super important. What is the job of this candle now? It's to retest a key level. And once a key level has been retested, either reject it or break past it. So unless you've got buy positions running from down there, you need to wait for the next confirmation, which will either be from up here to the downside or to the top side. Really simple, really simple. And let's see what kind of volatility kicks in now. It's technically still rejecting this area here, so let's just let it play out, honestly. And you know, when you think about it, you are in this consolidation as well. So if they do want to keep on consolidating the price within this range, then you're just selling the resistance, right? And you're buying the support. So simple. But we need some sort of a fake out setting up from up here. Maybe even a 15-minute breather candle, and next one breaks the lows, because technically everything is still bearish. You're just going to give it a go. And the previous candle will turn into a breather candle, and then we see the wick fill and break scenario to the downside, right? That's what I'm thinking about. And you know, this is not an area that you want to take lightly, because gold needs to go past this 45 level. Once it goes past this 45, 46 level, that's when you can say, okay, cool, now we're coming up to daily highs. Until then, this is the area I need to, you know, this is the area we need to look at, guys, for some confirmations. Until then, it's best to stay out of this, because you're looking for 1 to 2 clean trades today, and you've got plenty of time. You've got the New York Stock Exchange coming up in the next 20 minutes. That would bring volatility. 3 o'clock, there's news coming in. So, you know, plenty of room to take trades. plenty of opportunities coming up. You just sort of need to take the opportunities when they show up. And for me personally, it's just not there at the moment. You know, man, you triggered me to drink water as well, man. I saw your camera, I see you drinking water. That's it. You gotta keep doing it, bro.
Bro, I always have. I just drink these, bro, today.
Bro, I drink 2 of these every day. I used to,
Yeah,
which was
that's,
about 4 liter. Yours is 1.5, so 2 of these is 3
1.5,
liter. Yeah. I was drinking 4 liter consistently when I was going gym every single day. I'm going to get back on it because I've been dehydrating myself a lot recently and not drinking enough water, so I'm going to start getting back on it. Because as a man, you need to drink at least 3 liters minimum.
It's like, for me, it's like a headache because I have this always in my desk, you know. So when I was on a computer, I always like drink, even if I'm not thirsty, you know, like just because yes, you know.
But look at your 4-hour now. It's again creeping back up. It is creeping back up. I just don't like this area because look at the kind of rejections that you see setting up from this area. That's the only thing, right? Really, really big rejections. And it's not happened once. It's happened multiple times. Look at this. Once. Then twice. Then 3 times, right? So this area here is throwing me off. Looking for any buys, it's kind of throwing me off. I'll be honest with you guys. It really is throwing me off. So let's see. But if we can get like a nice confirmation above this area, then yes, most definitely we are coming up. But I understand the price action on gold. They will not give you a simple pump back up. They will do something tricky. They will cause some sort of a fake out, because this could close as the most biggest candle that you've seen on the whole daily range, you know, as an engulfing bullish candle. And then the next one will give you a plain and simple open and dump. I have a feeling they can do that. But let's see. Let's see. Let's see what they want to do. Because if we go based off like the previous candle, let's first of all remove all of this area here. I don't want too many lines on my charts. We gotta stay active, so we will remark these when the time is right. Until then, let's remove this.
The beast of the candle, bro, like previous day.
Yeah. See, the thing is now, on the daily, you technically have this support area here that daily needs to deal with. But if you again look to the left, look at the way daily kind of gives you the nastiest rejections from this sort of area here. But as soon as we go past this area, then your daily upwick retest becomes a genuine scenario. Look at that. Becomes a valid scenario, doesn't it? But it has to kind of like go past this area here that we have to the left, the max pullback area here, which is again the 45 level. You know, we understand that 45, 46, it's a major psychological level. Is the $5 psychological level. But if it does give you a confirmation above 45, then most likely, yes, it's going to come up. Most likely, right? And at this point, they've exceeded your daily lows. Still rejecting the daily lows. Let's take this out. Let's take this out as well. I want to keep my charts super clean at the moment. Is pumping up really nicely now. Okay, 4H highs have been violated. So this is it now. This is it. This is it. Let's see what they do. They are giving you the retest now, so this is it. Let's see what this 15-minute does and what the New York Stock Exchange Open does. This is it. This is exactly what we are looking for. So let's see. Because again, 4H goes one way. So either it will give you a wick fill and break, or a wick fill and rejection. So now the 4H candle, the open 4H candle, becomes essential. We need to really see what they do. Let's remeasure the daily range, because I want to again remark the daily 50% level. Guys, we need to do like a petition or something of, they need to introduce Forex trading classes in schools, but they would never do that. They don't want you to be rich. Bro, if I was to open a private school, this will be this will be a must. You have to attend these classes. Imagine you train kids to start learning how to trade, bro. Everyone would be a millionaire by the time they turn like they're in their 20s or 30s, bro.
20s.
Everyone. Like if you give a man 10 years to learn this, like that's more than enough time, isn't it?
That's what I want to do with my brother.
Yeah, bro.
Have
you seen there was a monkey who was playing games. They programmed a monkey to play games. But imagine you could like program a monkey to just trade the markets for you. That would be so sick. Like, what's happening, my monkey? How many pips are you catching today? He's like,
that's what you're trying, bro.
He's like, 100 pips. Oh yes. What a 30 monkey you are, bro. You'll be getting a lot of bananas today, that's for sure. Bro, if my monkey can catch 100 pips a day, I'm giving him flipping 50 bananas a day. That's what they like, right? Bananas.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. The future is bright, guys. The future is bright. We can hopefully soon have monkeys trading for us. I'm not, bro, like, it might seem like a joke, but they have those chips that they can...
Yeah, Neuralink, I think.
Yeah, Neuralink, exactly. They do. It might seem like a joke, but this is me being deadly serious. I will mark my words, in the next 40 years, I will buy a monkey that trades the markets for me. Just watch. Bro, I will be an innovator. I will innovate. This is going to be my way of introducing something new to this, space. I will bring a monkey to this space. Just watch, bro. Roger says Forex will end 2026. What are your thoughts? How can Forex end in 2026 unless they have a complete different banking system? They have to change every single thing for them to end Forex. Unless they have a new financial system in place. Some of my friends are also saying that 2025 they will have a big reset, and then they're about to change the whole financial system. But come on, man, Forex cannot be ended. How can foreign exchange be ended unless there's just one digital currency every single country has? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. How are you going to compare the rates of dollar against pound or whatever? Like, it's impossible for this to be ended. Do you know where I'm coming from? Unless there is just one digital currency which every single country follows, then sure, it makes sense. But 2026, I don't know, man. Maybe if you buy his, the thing is, right, you need to understand, it's like the urgency. A lot of people will say things just to create the urgency within you. Like, you have 1-2 years to learn this. Join. Always just like, I'm not talking about Raja, because Raja, I have a lot of respect and love for Raja. I'm not talking about Raja. I'm just talking about some other people. I would never, ever talk about Raja in that way, guys. Trust me. But like, some people now, they do create the urgency in you. Like, buy my course, join my team. There's only 2 years before you can become a millionaire. So,
bro, I think it's not. I think PDC didn't see the video till the end. Raja is trolling, man.
Oh, okay.
I think he's trolling, bro.
Damn, PDC. What's the analysis for today, bro? We were waiting for you the whole time. You need to give us that signal. Should we buy or should we sell PDC? What are we doing today?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, no, Forex is not going anywhere,
It's
guys.
trolling, man. It's trolling.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I hate Mondays. He says he hate Mondays. Come on, man. Where's this negative energy, PDC? Come on, positive mindset, positive attitude. I'm selling early here. Oh, you're selling early. SL 1948. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. But no, I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting. But 1942.50 is a buy. 42.50 is a buy. Yeah, we're past it. Okay. Take care, guys. I'm off. Take care, my brother. Take it. Good luck. Good luck. But yeah, we're not selling yet, man. It can give you a very nasty breakout to the top side. 4H is starting to now retest this, and they're not giving you any big rejections as of yet. You need the 4H candle to reject before any sell positions can be taken. So yeah, no sells just yet. It's dangerous at the moment. Super dangerous, because you're going against the breakout now. The only time this becomes invalid is if they give you a rejection. So yeah, we will just wait and see what it does. And yeah, if a nice clean rejection and a close below these key areas are seen, then the trade becomes valid. Until then, you have to stay out of the markets. It's a clean breakout to the top side, at least up to a daily range. And again, think about it, right? Even going based of the previous daily, you've got such a nice clean range to the top side. It can give you a really nice correction. The daily hasn't moved much. The daily is rejecting. So selling at the moment is very risky in my opinion. Oh, nothing is risky if you have the right risk management and a trading plan, right? But it's tricky being the right word, not risky. It's not risky. Nothing is risky if you have the right risk management plan. But I think he said his stop loss is 48, SL 48. Okay, that's his SL. Cool. Let's see if the SL is protected. New York Stock Exchange coming up in the next 7 minutes. Yeah, see, this is the kind of behavior we want to see. Breakout, minimum pullback, breakout, and I like this. I really do like this. Really do. The only issue again I have with this is this area here can cause a really nasty rejection, right? That's the only issue I have with this. Okay, 6 minutes left. Because another thing I can think about is maybe they could open the price, they could spike the price up with the New York Stock Exchange volatility, something like this. They kind of like open the price. Let's say if this one gives you a closure in this range, they kind of like spike the price up just a little bit, retest these areas because the New York Stock Exchange is so volatile, and they end up closing the price something like this, because this kind of here has to give you a bottom wick anyway, right? So that's what I'm thinking about. So I'm being extra cautious at the moment because 30 minutes do give you those bottom wicks, but at the same time, your 4H confirmation, if it is valid, then you can take this going based on the 4H confirmation, because we have seen it recently. It doesn't give you the pullback majority of the times, but again, it depends what sort of volatility is there in the markets in the next 5 minutes or so. Otherwise, you can see a very nice retest all the way down here, all the way downtown. This will be your retest area, right? 68. And just look at the kind of sell-off that kicks in from this area. Just don't like any buy positions today, man, because the markets are so bearish. The daily is bearish, everything is bearish. I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable looking for buys today, because you're going against such bearish momentum. Look how much bearish momentum there is. We need at least like one intraday bullish close, right? And then from there you just start getting more comfortable with the buy positions. Until then, this could give you the nastiest rejection. We need something above this, you know? So even the 1H hasn't given us a closure above this. We don't have a closure above this area. That's the thing, we're just kind of trading above it, but at the same time, as long as we don't have a closure, it's a bit tricky to look for buys. Let's just avoid buys today, for now at least, because it's tricky, man. It's tricky. Even with NYSE, they might spike the price up, take all this liquidity out, because the majority of the SLs are either up here or near this area. With NYSE, spike up and then give us our short position potentially. Let's see. Look, at this point, look, they're making the daily 50% area invalid, right? They're rejecting the daily lows. We understand that. They're rejecting the daily lows, giving your confirmation above the daily highs. But the only issue I have is the daily range is super bearish, and it hasn't even moved about 200 pips, right? So when your daily range is not even 200 pips, it means that they want to give you a new high or a new low. So it can either break above or it can either break below. But that's where now, if we don't feel comfortable with taking a buy position within the daily range, we can always technically wait for a breakout and then see how much it pushes up and then start selling the highs. Do you see where I'm coming from, right? Because if you again just look at the areas that we're kind of like retesting now, it's not clean range, you know, when you think about it. To the left, it's not clean range. You've got this rejection area, this rejection area, this rejection area. All of this, I kind of do want to avoid taking a buy position when we have this sort of price action. But the minute we start to clear this resistance area here, look at this, right? Look at this. Going past the daily highs now, we've actually got such a nice range to the top side. Once we actually go past the daily highs, which most likely will be the move with the New York Stock Exchange if they have enough volatility. And yeah, above this now, we've got such a nice range, honestly. Easy 30-40 pips. Oh, price is creeping up now. This is your confirmation. Most likely with NYSE, they'll take the price up. One more minute left, guys. One more minute left. As I said, it could be a case where they spike the price up and then take it down. Let's see, because they are retesting this area now, where usually you see gold rejecting from, and then you've got another area here. It's too many rejection areas, man. Too many rejection areas. I just don't like it, honestly. It's kind of throwing me off, these rejection areas. But at the same time, if you kind of like avoid all of this, you have a nice range to the top side if you do avoid all of this. So it's a case of, do you want to avoid all of this? Well, let's say if we were to become visual creatures at the moment. Okay, this is where the fake out can start setting up now, by the way. Just really nasty fake out can be shown from up here now with the New York Stock Exchange open. So maybe on the 15 minutes, do we have anything? Ooh. Jeez. Well, don't really have an upper wick just yet. Let's see. Let's investigate this a little bit more. Okay, so 44.50. 44.50. What would the TP area be with this? You know, let's give this a go. SLs, above, yeah, 48 being the SO. Wait for it though. Wait for it. Don't take in the first 5 minutes, okay? I can't hear you, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, wait for it. I'll tell you. But let's give this a go. If it gives us an upper wick and then starts to break below again. Because anything in the first 5 minutes is not valid. So I want to see what they do. Anything in the first 5 minutes is not valid. It's just a low forming. So we're going to stay out of it for the first 5 minutes or so. And then let's see what kind of momentum the markets pick up. Because this is exactly what I was waiting for. Some sort of a fake out forming from up here. But it doesn't have the upper wick yet. So let's stay out of it for now. Your daily 50% is creeping just here as well, so anything below this is very nice, back to the lows since the markets are super bearish, and we are technically retesting this rejection area, and anything from here we know we've got a clean range, and on this 60% profit target. Okay, also try and show the SL if you can.
Okay.
Because and obviously aim for the 1-to-1. Yeah. Let's wait on it. Okay. Because they've given you a low. If they do give you a high, any break. So if they do form an upper wick now, let's give it a go. 5 pips below the previous candle lows. Okay.
Yeah, previous 15 minutes.
Exactly. Previous 15-minute lows. 5 pips below. Let's give it a go. Now they have a high. But not now. In the next 2 minutes. If they give it to you in the next 2 minutes, let's give it a go. Just take it on the 5 pips below. Okay. SLs go. Wait, well, let me investigate. Just put it 7 pips above the highs, 5 pips above the highs. So 47.52-ish level. It's like a 32 pip SL. And you got 60% area that you can secure at, okay? Since it's around 20 pips. Okay, let's give this a go. Your TP1 will be the 60% area, 52.50. And try and trail the SL and then later on till 1-to-1, okay?
Yeah, I'll try, bro.
Yeah, just try and trail it, the SL. You can trail the SL to 50% whenever it gives you the 60% target, okay?
Exactly.
Minimum secure, minimum 50%. Trail it and let it just run. And because they do need to technically give you that pullback anyway, going based to the previous 30-minute candle, and this is the best opportunity they have now to cause that fake out, right? And once they do cause a fake out, then they have no business coming back up. But we need a nice clean break here now with this new 5-minute open. First 5 minutes is just a spikiness. You can't take in, no breakouts are valid, but next 5 minutes again a breakout, most likely because they want to drive the price down at this point. And we know this is the fake out we were anticipating. 4H is still quite bearish since it's an open candle. Lows are not sustainable either, and it has no business rejecting now with the New York Stock Exchange open. If they do start to pick up downside momentum with the New York Stock Exchange open, makes sense. Let's see what they do. You do want to, guys, secure something at this mark here. This is where you want to secure your TP1 for sure, guys, which is the 42.84. So only what we discussed, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this will technically be that TP1, secure everything here, break even. TP1, secure profits here. This will be your entry area. You want to make it risk-free over here, guys. This is where you want to make it risk-free because we're expecting the NY open volatility now to give us clean 10 pips. Make it risk-free here. You want to make it risk-free here. And so let's see, this will be the first leg down. You're securing some profits here, making it risk-free. As soon as this area here gets tapped, securing some profits here, making it risk-free. Let's see how it plays out. Let's see. There you go, 5 pips below for the entry. If it gets triggered, it gets triggered. Okay, let's say it has been triggered now, the entry, let's say, which is going to be your break below this area for your entry to be triggered now. And yeah, let's see. With the New York Stock Exchange open, they should be able to give you some sort of a spike down. Let's see. There you go. You want to make it risk-free as soon as it taps this area here, because you have nasty rejections here looking to the left. Gold is quite bearish at the moment on the daily. They're giving you a clean fake out. They need to take the price down a little bit now. It's a very high probability setup in my opinion. And if they do want to reject the price, then most likely you want to come out of here on the break of the highs, right? So you want to chill your stop loss to just up here. But to be honest with you, I recommend letting this play out. It's a very high probability setup with the New York Stock Exchange open. Unless they want to again reject the price and take it back up, then yeah, it's a dynamic risk loss, right? But I do recommend kind of letting this play out. It makes plenty of sense. They have given you the retest of these areas over here now. They technically need to now give you the rejection from up here. They've grabbed the orders that they had to grab up here now, right? It's a game of orders. So if they have collected the orders now, let's say the move to the top side is done, right? Looking to the left, we can see a very nice spike up, double top formation on the 4H, now rejecting and closing below the previous 4H highs. And at this point, we need that volatility with the NYSE to give us this area here, and which is the TB1 area for us. We just need this spike down, and this is where you want to make a risk free. Okay, spiking now. Some more volatility. We just need to go past this daily 50% area, because that's one area we kind of want to deal with. And once you start going past this area, you can start scaling in with more positions below this. You can have more scaling positions, but until then, kind of like keep that risk low if you can. But again, guys, I can't really recommend anything unless you're in my private team. Then I can give you the scaling plan and everything. Until then, when I say scaling, if you scale in with your whole account, that's on you. For us, it's very low risk, right? The way we trade. They've given you a clean breakout at this point now, not just once, for the second time, right? So at this point, they want to drive the price down just a little bit more. So when you actually think about it, what is the target to the downside now? Well, you have an imbalance down here, so most likely will be a fake out scenario setting up, right? Unless they want to take the price back up again. Well, to be honest with you, 4H usually goes one way, and NYSE is such a volatile open, and they're giving you a clean breakout at this point, right? So this is setting up as a clean fake out structure. But if they do start to kind of like break past this area, then yeah, makes it invalid. Until then, you want to let this play out, honestly. It's a clean fake out structure. That's all it is. Don't die on us, because I don't want to be in this in the last 15 minutes, gold. Don't die on us. Please don't die on us. You got news coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's hold it for now. Let's hold it for us. I just don't want it to die on us. And then last 15 minutes, like there's 5 minutes left and we're still in this position. Kind of do want to be in and out of this position, sort of thing. So they really need to give us the volatility with the New York Stock Exchange open. Don't die on us, gold. Don't die on us. Because then you need to kind of come out of it and wait for the news to kick in. Because it wouldn't make sense for you to kind of be in this position if it's like 5 minutes left or 10 minutes left. Oh, they're giving you that breather candle. Yeah, I think news will be your best friend at this point. Let's see what they do. Goldilocks, don't die on us. Don't die on us. Don't die on us. Yeah, seems like they're giving you that breather candle at this point now. So it might be a thing where you have to just kind of like let this trade go on the break of this. And kind of, because they shouldn't be giving you a breather candle at this point, right? If they're going to cause a fake out. Because the whole point is we're looking for a fake out. Is rejecting the daily 50%, is closing as a breather candle. Maybe the next one's going to pump now. So we need this to close as a resistance candle. But yeah, let's see what they do. You've got 3 minutes left. But if they do start to close this as a breather candle, at the moment this is still an open candle. It's a valid trade, right? And what we need to see is we need to see a bearish close on this candle at this point. Below this area. Above this area, it becomes a rejection. Most likely they will pump the price up a bit more, and then the idea that we are trading becomes invalid. We will have to wait for more confirmations and look for something else. Until then, this is a valid scenario. We haven't taken it on the first 5 minutes. We waited for some confirmation, a valid breakout, and then we took it, right? The markets are super bearish. And so, you know, again, you have plenty of confirmations, but again, on the break of this now, if it rejects, then most likely they want to go up, and we are wrong when it comes to this trade, and we will have to come out of it with very minimum drawdown. That's why your stop losses are just up here. You don't want to have massive stop losses, just very tight stop losses. And when it goes your way, you kind of just let it run. And as I said, below the daily 50% is when you want to start scaling in with more positions, right? This is your daily 50% level, but it makes sense if you have been triggered. Did it break 5 pips below? Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
So you did get triggered.
Even more.
Yeah. It's a valid position at this point. It's a valid position. You just need to let it run. If the next one takes you, it takes you as part of the game. It's a valid position. If it broke below, you just let it play. I just don't want to be stuck in this, man, in the last 15 minutes. It kind of needs to give you that spike, either up or down. Because even if it's in profits, I recommend coming out of it, because you don't want to be in this position. Make it risk-free at least if it's the last 5 minutes. So no matter what, last 5 minutes, make it risk-free. Let the trade play out, but guys, make it risk-free in the last 5 minutes, because you don't want to go against the news, man. No, yeah. Bro, no like trading stop losses on this, because the news will be tricky. So secure everything at 60%, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, no. News is dangerous. So no trailing stop losses on these guys, because you want to come out of it. So you need the next 15 minutes to give you a drop, break past this area, secure your TP1 area, make it risk-free, just come out of it, because news can have very negative numbers, and even if you have a trailing stop loss, it could take you out with a loss, because how spiky the news will be, right? So let's see. Next 15 minutes need to open and break past this area, and then you're laughing. There you go. This is it. Let's see where it does, either up or down. But this is where the news will get priced in, so it can do something dodgy, man. It can just start flying to the moon. So you have maybe the first 5-10 minutes you want to give this. Yeah, this is where it becomes a bit hard now, because you can't be in this trade once the news drops. You need to come out of it before the news drops. So if, let's say, it's at break-even area in the let's say the first 5 minutes is just spiky, trading, and even in the last, yeah, I would recommend coming out of it then. Yeah, this is your news getting priced in. Ooh, is it gonna take it out? Take it out. This is your news getting priced in. Breather candle, yeah, it's a clean breakout. If they start to break 5 pips past this, yeah, it's a clean breakout. Come off it. It's a stop out. Let it play out. Let your stop losses get hit. Don't manually come out of it. News just came out already. No way. No, that's 3 o'clock, bro. Why are you scaring me? But what news is they talking about? It already came out? Is my timing messed up? Or what's happening? Service PMI. What news is he talking about?
No.
Service PMI.
Just or 245, yeah.
Oh, you mean
But that's a red. That's
no,
a yellow
bro.
folder.
Yeah, negative. It's not really high impact. But yeah, man. Oh, PDC. Oh, whose stop loss was it? Overtime stop loss got hit. Overtime, man. That position got taken out. But yeah, I think it will be a news play. You got taken out zone, you know?
Yeah.
That's fine, bro. That's fine. Yellow
So
on
like,
FX Factory, but red on other platform.
and my stop loss was like 10 pips.
Bro, what other platforms are you using? Tell me if it's a red folder, because on Forex Factory is a yellow folder.
Oh.
Maybe that's the
Yeah,
reason.
makes sense.
But yeah.
This was kind of aggressive, you know, like.
Yeah. Something like this. I think it's a news move. Yeah, it's very much heavily fundamental involved move. Bro, what's the other platform? EKB, the one that you're using. But for me, this will be a takeout, guys.
Probably
how many tips did we?
Investing.
But yeah, let's. The New York Stock Exchange done dodgy stuff as well, man. Because again, even with the NYSE, they give you the cleanest breakout, and now they're taking the price up. So this is where you need to see where the price goes up or down. But you got a couple more minutes left before news drops. Let's see. It depends. It really depends on the numbers what they do, guys. It really depends on the numbers what they do. With the numbers, we will look for those positions, but at the moment it's hard for you to take anything big because of the spikiness that's going to kick into the market. So imagine as an example, you have a massive position running now before news. Let's say your stop loss is just up here, right? The minute news gets triggered, right, your stop loss can get activated all the way up here because of the slippage. So it's best to stay out. And yeah, let's see what we can look for, but you need to wait for the news to kick in. Yeah, daily is rejecting now at this point. NYSE gave you a fake out scenario, but they're taking the price up, so this is heavily influenced by news now at this point. You've got 55 and 40. You got negative numbers. Forecasted were 55%, 54%. So yeah. Something like this. Because where is your daily range? Have they? Yeah, daily highs are up here. So let's see. Daily highs are still holding. It's up here. It really depends now what numbers do. With the numbers, you will get opportunity. Until then, it's very risky to take anything because we don't know what the numbers will do. So the whole intraday range has only moved about how many pips altogether? 120 pips. Yeah, you've got clean range to the top end. Yeah, plenty of opportunity. Even when you measure this whole range, yeah, look at that. You can target this area here to the left as your daily target for sure. There you go. They gave you a double top here as well, didn't they? Let's see you in the 15 minutes. Yeah, look at that. Clean double top formation. Very nice bearish close as well. And then this candle was your news move. Yeah, this was not this was not technicals. This was based on the fundamentals. This move to the top side. Breather candle, break above, clean pump. Past, let's say 5 pips above your TP is the daily highs. You're triggered. Daily highs, you're aiming for the daily highs. Now you're triggered. SLs below the lows. Is it worth it? Not really. Is it worth it? Not really.
It was the best trade, bro, I think.
The one we took?
Yeah, the
100%.
best one
100%.
after the
100%.
till now. Yeah.
Yeah, we just need to wait, man. All the trades we gave up were literally the high probability setups. Even this breakout we said here is gonna pump up. You can see how much is pumped up now from this area. So all the trade ideas have been correct. But it's again about, do you want to take everything now, or do you want to wait for the news to drop, and when there is volatility in the markets, then take something? See where I'm coming from? And I think it's a best bet to stay out, because it's still an open candle, your 4H. This 4H starts to reject, they have a clean range to the downside, honestly. Let's say, where is the 4H 50% now, if you want to go based on the previous 4H 50%? Yeah, look at that. You have a clean 4H 50% retest scenario setting up over here. 41.97.
No wick on my broker.
To the downside.
Yeah, no 4 hour wick.
Yeah, if the numbers are positive, then they're going to start driving the price down again. So most likely, again, this is your first fundamental push up. Yeah. Let's see. We need to wait for the numbers though before we can take anything, guys. Have to wait. Because at the moment, the daily is starting to reject now. You can see they're giving you a genuine breakout above this area. They're not rejecting this area. This is basically where you do want to see gold rejecting this range here and giving you some sort of a confirmation to start selling the markets, right? Especially if the numbers are positive. So if we can get like a confirmation below this area here, from this area here, something below this double resistance to the left. Yeah, look at that. Like this break of this now, this becomes a clean move to the downside. Break of this candle here. Honestly, it does. If the numbers are positive as well, break of this is a clean sell-off. SO will go above this. So this will be your sell stops essentially, right? If the numbers are positive.
Bro, it can be like the break above and close below, you know.
Exactly.
15 minutes break above.
Exactly. And this was a manipulation in the markets now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of the times, whenever you see a candle like this being printed, you see the next candle giving you the biggest drop. You've seen it, right? Many times.
Yeah.
You see one breather candle, next one breaks the lows, it becomes a super aggressive candle. But today it just wasn't it really. The markets are kind of slow. Not slow, they're not slow, they're more heavily influenced by the fundamentals rather than just the technicals. With, let's say, the news being positive, if you have sell stops over here, you can see gold spiking down really nicely. Really nicely. That 50% level, gold breaking above the daily 50%, made the daily range quite bullish, right? That's the thing. So I think the safest play will be when the daily range becomes bearish, because everything is bearish, but you do need the daily range to technically become bearish, right? And at the moment, the daily range is super bullish at this point. You need to always understand the daily range has to either become bullish or bearish for you to go with the flow. At the moment, the flow was there, but at the same time, the 50% area was still kind of being rejected, right? So you need the intraday range to be in your favor. You need that confidence on the intraday range, right? So if with the numbers being positive, you get this position to the downside, it's a very clean play. Look at this. This is your daily 50% level, right? 44.01. Look at this now. Anything below this area gives you a clean confirmation, right? And so again, if the numbers are positive below this, you get like a clean breakout of, let's say, 5 pips below the lows here. This becomes your entry if the numbers are positive. Anything below 43.73. 43.73 becomes your entry. Below the lows here, this becomes your entry if the numbers are positive in the next 3 minutes. Your SOs go up here, your TPs go down here, but within this range you're securing TPs, you're making a risk free. You make a risk free here. This is where you want to make a risk free. So yeah, if the numbers are positive, makes plenty of sense, to be fair. Since you're seeing a clean breakout back below the daily 50%, your intraday is becoming super bearish. It's an impulsive play, but it makes plenty of sense. If the numbers are negative, then obviously you are seeing a pump back up to 59 or something, right? So you've got 1 more minute left before this can get triggered. So this is where you could have your sell stops. You have your sell stops here, let's see. Risk-free area. Make a risk-free here. You want to make a risk-free here. And then this will be, you know, your TP1 as well. And then you want to be sensible and let this run down to the daily lows at least down to the daily lows, because you got such a clean range. It's only moved about 100 pips, but yeah, it's about 17 pips till the TP1 gets hit. Okay, we have 20 seconds left now. If we see a break below these lows, then your sell stops can be activated, since your daily range is becoming bearish, and then gold can give you a very nice drop. You want to make it risk free around this area, and you want to let the rest just run, and you can also secure some profits, and the numbers being negative. So the numbers are negative at this point, super negative. Now gold can push up till at least 59, 58. That's why we said don't have any open positions running before news, because even if they want to drop the price now, did you guys see how quickly they spiked the price up? Bingo, very positive numbers. I mean, very negative numbers.
Negative.
Yeah. So no, the sell scenario becomes invalid, since the sell stops should be taken out now. The numbers are very negative. We can see it. Very negative numbers. So yeah, it will just be a waiting game now. How negative are they? Must be super negative numbers, man. Ooh, 50 compared to 52. Okay. At this point, your daily will give you a correction. TP1, not TP1, target 1 will be this area. Anything past it, you've got the 50% level on the previous daily, right? Let's see what the range will be technically. Okay, so this is the lows away. It does have a low broker, not bad. So just going based off the daily now, I think the range is all the way up here. So this is your daily 50%, previous daily 50%. You have a clean range 56.67. Previous daily 50%. It's a clean range. This area here will be your target. If they do want to give you a PD 50% retest, so gold can push up another 90 pips, 100 pips, and then start to exhaust. So yeah, let's just let it run. This position didn't get triggered, so let's take this out. And yeah, let's see how much it can run with the news. I will be right back.
Big drop, big pump. AKB, what's the platform that you're using for the news? Because yeah, yellow on FX Factory, but red on other platform.
Okay, it's coming up very nicely. The target will be up here. Any closures above there, then you're expecting a wick fill. But yeah, this will be your first target area. Can you give us this target area? But the first target has been hit now, so let's see. A very nice sell position can set up now because gold has moved about 230 pips, and yeah, this is your news move done now. And think about it, your target has been hit. Your first 5 minute essentially is giving you that breakout. The next one can now start to sell off, especially if you see a resistance forming here. You could take a position soon. You have at least another couple minutes left before the 15 minute comes to a closure, and so now let's see how they close the price. If they do give you a rejection, then the next 15 minute can just open and dump, because the 1H as well as the daily has done its job now. It has done its job.
It was very, very influenced, bro, by the news.
This was the move you wanted to see on the intraday anyway. So now if the move is done, it means we can look for our positions as well as soon as we have the confirmation. But you technically need a rejection from this area here. This is your first target. Look at that. It's a massive weekly area. See this area here? You don't want to take this area lightly. That's for sure. You don't want to take this lightly. This is a massive, massive area. Once you go past this area, then you've got the previous daily 50% area creeping up as well. So you can have a really, really nice, decent position setting up, honestly. But you would need to be patient if you want to take this. Because at the moment, look, there still is that sort of order flow to the top side, and news is also in play at the moment. You need to let it exhaust. And do you guys see why we did tell you to not have any open positions before news? So anyone who had open positions now kind of got taken out so aggressively, and that's what you call slippage in the markets. It was a 1 minute candle which gave you, look how big this pump was, 71 pips. Anyone who had like stop losses, open stop losses, or like even like valid stop losses up here, most definitely got triggered. 20 pips. What do you reckon? 20 pips slippage? Yeah, so
Depends, man. If it was like challenge accounts, man,
bigger. That's crazy. That's why we stay out before news kicks in. You don't want to take any, you don't want to have any open positions near that time. It's risky play. Really, really risky play.
bro. Did you see the BBC thing with the Tate?
Andrew Tate, yeah, sorry man. The interview. I haven't watched the whole interview, but bro the way they try coming off to him.
What a bad interview, bro.
I know. The way they try coming off to him, like, what was that? What was that behavior, man? BBC is washed. They've got nothing else left now, so they just want to get some content. They're washed, man. They've embarrassed themselves. Literally, bro. The way they had an agenda against him, you could just tell. like literally from the start. And like the female had no authority, you know. The guy, Andrew Tate, let her in, like, you know, she had no authority, you know. The guy was humble enough to let her in, let her interview him, you know, giving them content. And you got to understand, he's not really, he's being accused of doing certain things, but he's still innocent until proven guilty. So no one in here can tell him like he's done X whatever, X, Y, and Z. You can't tell him he's done these things.
I think it's just the way, bro. Like, it's not like, it's not an interview, you know. It's like,
bro, that was a straight up
strange
attack. It was an attack. It wasn't an interview. It was a attack,
very
trying
strange,
to
bro.
again put him down. And you know, bro, it's because the West, they don't want men like that, because it's very like old school traditional, right? They want men to be more feminine now. They want to control us, right? So they don't want to give us this kind of power. And so what Andrew Tate is doing is he's kind of like rewiring the way young men think. And if young men, everyone was to become kind of like Andrew Tate, then the system will have very hard time controlling us all. That's one thing you have to understand. And what they want to do is they want to control us as much as they can. So if you have someone like, you know, again, as I said, Andrew Tate kind of like putting all of these things into, you know, young men into their head, saying, go gym, open up your businesses, you know, forget the 9 to 5, you know, like all of these things, achieve, you know, try and be the best version of yourself. Then if men start doing those things, every man would technically start becoming an alpha. And so do you know how hard it is to control an alpha, man? It's really, really hard. So that's what you have to understand, right? The system, they don't want an army of men standing against them, right? They want a bunch of pussies that they can just control. And majority of men are very weak, feminine men, you know. All you need to do is just go out on the streets, and then you'll see a bunch of those guys. It's very hard to come across a man who's got something going on for themselves, right? So that's where when you have someone like Andrew Tate, he's telling men to, you know, do the good things and whatnot, bro, they anti him. And it makes sense, you know, they want to protect themselves. Makes sense.
Bro, I think I see something in the UK, they block his name from the school computers, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
bro,
remember
that's crazy,
there was
bro.
a story. One of my family friends, apparently, basically the person, you know, one of my family friends, he's like 40 years of age. So his younger son is, I think, 24 years old. Not 24, my bad. That's too much. He was 16, 17 years old. So they had something where they had to do a presentation about their role models. The kid done a presentation on Andrew Tate. The kid got suspended from school for, like, you know, just doing a presentation on Andrew Tate. Yeah. Bro, it's really bad over here.
Bro.
It's
That's
really
crazy,
bad. It's
man.
really, really bad. They literally suspended the kid because he done a presentation on Andrew Tate. Apparently, he's kind of like promoting the bad things Andrew Tate preaches, which is like abusing women or doing this and that. But I've never heard anything bad come out of his mouth personally. I've only heard the good things, man. He tells you to be responsible. He tells you to, you know, have that accountability. He tells you to do all the right things, have the good habits. You know, I've never heard him say like go beat up women or like do this or do that. He always just tells you all the right things. So clearly the Matrix does not want him to win. And bro, at the end of the day, we live in a matrix, man. It is a matrix. You know? To a certain extent, when you got a man like Andrew Tate who is escaping the system, right, you can just see how hard they're coming down on him, you know, because he's giving you guys the blueprint as always. He's telling you like, look, this is something that you can do. I think the guy grew up in Bradford or someplace in the UK. He's heavily influenced by Asians as well. That's the thing, right? I think most of his friends were Pakistanis and, like, you know, a lot of Asian guys, because that's the guys he grew up around. Where did he grow up, Andrew Tate? Because even you know, his best friend, what's his name? His name is something Khan, right? Luton. Yeah, Luton.
Exactly.
So exactly, Luton. He grew up in Luton, exactly. So a lot of the influence that he has is because of Asians anyway. Most of his boys were Pakistanis. So yeah, Tam Khan. See, even Tam Khan, that's I think one of his best friends. He's a Pakistani guy. So the way he thinks is very traditional. You know, the thing is, right, he thinks like any other traditional Pakistani guy thinks, right? But you gotta understand, if you had a Pakistani guy saying these things, they would say like he's this, he's that. I don't want to say certain things because obviously, but that's where now a mixed race guy who was born in America moved to Luton. He's a mixed race guy, right? His parents, you know, his father's black, his mother's white. Like, you know, he's not a Muslim. When he starts to say these things, they can't say he's, you know, the T word or all the other words that they say we are, but they will say he's a misogynist, he's the R word. And you know, I mean, if you really understand, right, every time there's a man speaking against the system, they will try and put you down. It's really, really simple, to be honest with you. And Andrew Tate is nothing new, bro. Like, there are guys out there who have been doing it. Like, look at Low Key. Do you guys know about who Low Key is? Like, there's so many guys out there who are doing it, but because they have Asian background, Middle Eastern backgrounds, all of a sudden, you know, they label us, you know, certain things. But because Andrew Tate, the guy's, you know, he's got tattoos all over his body, you know, he's going to the clubs, drinking, you know, he's got that whole different persona about himself, right? He's got a different image. When he starts doing it, they can't put the labels that they put on us on him, but they can put different labels, being misogynist, this and that. That's all it is, man. Every time there's someone like speaking against the system, they will try and put him down. It's very simple. And that's exactly, bro, like, it's so bait now. It's actually so bait. Like, look at BBC. It just shows you, like, the biggest puppets, the BBC, like, they are the biggest puppets of the system. You know, the way they're going against him, it's just so bait. You can just see how against they are.
Yeah, man.
You know, if you actually think about it, right?
It was not smart, bro. It was like,
that was the dumbest thing they've done. They've revealed, like, they revealed themselves again. You know, they keep on revealing themselves, man. How against they are about, you know, they're so against Andrew Tate. And it's not Andrew Tate that they're against that way of living, you know, submitting to God, you know, not being degenerate, because they want to promote the degeneracy, you know, go out, drink every weekend.
I think one guy called Jordan B. Peterson, you know.
Yeah.
You know that guy? I think he got banned for the Twitter or Instagram too.
Yeah, man. Even now Elon Musk is in control, so they can reinstate his account, but yeah, I'm not too sure about how they will do it.
No, not banned.
No, I don't think he will be
I think banned. It was on Twitter or something.
Yeah.
Like.
No, but on Twitter most of the accounts have been reinstated because now
Elon
Musk is the new, obviously, owner. So back then, yeah, man. But I think this is where the digital era is really about to change, because we got people like Elon Musk kind of like taking control of Twitter, which is one of the biggest social media platforms. Otherwise, you got the lizard. You know who the lizard is. The lizard controls everything. You know who the lizard is?
Me?
No, do you know? Not you, bro. The lizard. Do you know who the lizard is? Let me show you the lizard. Bro, he's the biggest. Oh, my bad. We need to get rid of... That's the lizard, bro. That's the lizard. Look at him. Does he not look like a lizard? Look at him, man. He looks like a lizard, doesn't he? That's why I call him a lizard.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, we need... But Elon Musk, man, he's a G. I'll be honest with you. He's a G. But the thing about Elon Musk is, right, he doesn't speak against the system. When you actually even look at his interviews, he talks more about the innovation side of it, right? He's not saying that the system is broken, the system is corrupt. Because he doesn't get into those antics, they don't really want to come hard on him. Obviously, he has certain influence now, so if he was to do something along the lines of, like, you know, start talking against the system, bro, they will do exactly what they've done to Andrew Tate. But the thing about Andrew Tate is he speaks against the system, but that's how he also makes his money, right? So that's his business. He, to a certain extent, needs to talk against the system, right? With Elon Musk, he doesn't need to, bro. He doesn't need to go out of his way to say, oh, the system is corrupt, this and that. It doesn't serve him anything, does it? He likes to innovate, and you know, the things that he's doing, in a way, he is gaining influence and he is gaining power. So in his own way, he can kind of like rewire people to think differently, right? But to a certain extent, he needs to also be in control, and he wants that power. So he doesn't want to give the power away. He wants to keep the power. And so the only way he can keep the power is by working with the people who have the power. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The only reason Andrew Tate does not have any power is because he's going against the system. But he has a lot of influence. That's the difference, right?
Yeah.
And now these guys are jumping on Rumble. They're not even staying on YouTube. They're all jumping on Rumble. I'm going to look into Rumble as well. Might start streaming on Rumble myself, because I've seen it myself with YouTube. Man, it's tricky. It's very tricky. But yeah, we need to look into Rumble. Might start the YouTube live streams on Rumble. So we could be the first streamers on Rumble. That's a really good idea. It's called Rumble, right?
Yeah, Rumble.
Let's look at Rumble. I haven't checked it out. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
We are seeing
Forex
streaming Rumble on YouTube.
Oh, there are people streaming on Rumble as well. Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know that guy, bro.
But where is the filter? Because I think we're gonna jump on live. License, long, short. Where is the live option?
Probably most recent.
6 hours, 6 hours.
Yeah, no one is streaming, bro.
Alright, bro, let's jump on Rumble, man. Yeah. It's very nice, to be honest.
Yeah, even
very nice.
Even that guy that calls Steve, you know, I don't know if you know. Steve will do it, you know.
Wait, this guy's getting 36,000 people watching him, 54 watching him, 40 followers. Not bad. So Rumble live stream. Maybe they have like a, yeah, look at that. They have a section here for live. Elon Musk. Let's see.
Fire room. Oh, bro, no one is streaming, I think.
Bro, let's make an account here as well. Let's jump on this, man. Let's be the first streamers on Rumble as well. But I don't know how the streaming works on Rumble. Can we do it through OBS?
Probably, bro. Needs to be like.
We'll look into it, bro. But let's be the first Forex guys on Rumble, man. We have it. We have what it takes. Look at that. He had, yeah, not bad.
Island hop.
Oh. But yeah, let's see. I mean, it's very hard to compete with YouTube, but you know what? If a lot of these influencers, they do come together, but at the same time, they will not, because they make a lot of money from YouTube. So YouTube will pay the big boys a lot more money to stay. That's the thing. I think the next 15 minutes so breaking the laws makes the trade quite valid, doesn't it? This is where you want to see gold closing below, though, below this area. So look to the left, yeah, see? Is this support area here? Any closure below this kind of is making the previous candle invalid as well. Next one breaks the highs, then you got the PD 50% target. Loading.
Be right back, my bro.
Alright, bro. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. But yeah, what was the BBC interview snippets? I want to see what they said. Andrew Tate's. Latest interview highlights. Let's go into it. Okay, this was the full interview. Where are the highlights? He actually made a statement as well.
A great deal of concern about the things you say and the impact that they have on young people, on women.
I don't think the concern's about the things I say. I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have. I would argue that a lot of the things that are already out there inside of the legacy media and the matrix as a whole are far more damaging than the things I say.
The concern about the influence you have being a harmful influence, but let's start with the...
That's so true. That's so true. That's actually so true. See, they've got issue with him having that influence because they want the influence. And if they don't have the influence and someone like him has the influence, it's an issue. But when people like this guy have the influence, it's actually not an issue. Look at this. What's his name? Nico. They want people like him to have... These are the kind of people they want in power. Like, honestly, these are the kind of people, they will promote these kind of people, you know. Like, go on the algorithm and you'll see these people everywhere. These are the kind of people they want to really promote. These are the kind of people they want out there as influencers, as people who are the ones in power. Because guess what? They want to turn all of us like this, you know. Look at this. This is what...
Stealing America. Every time I go to Walmart,
Oh
my merch, buy it. Unless you're poor.
It's so sweet. This is sweet.
Oh my lord. This is what they want.
Yeah. Do they use plastic gloves?
This is how they want to turn all of us, by the way. And now when someone like him, working out, businesses, everything you can imagine, tough mindset, you know, indestructible, put him in a jail, he comes back 10 times stronger. Do whatever to him. Bro, they put him in a jail, he came back with hair. Do you know how crazy that is? He fully came back with a full head of hair. That's like, they literally gave him time to reset, rejuvenate. They give him time to rejuvenate. He literally came back with hair. They can't
It's not necessarily a harmful
put him
influence.
down.
The fact that I'm massively influential over the youth, and I understand that. But it's my influence as a whole which people are afraid of, not necessarily the things I say.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for
Absolutely
money?
not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No. Firstly, let's begin let's start at the beginning. I'm facing charges.
Okay, emotional manipulation is not really a valid point. That's like saying if a girl is in love with me and she does something for me, that's manipulation. How is it manipulation? Because in that certain moment, someone felt a certain way for you, they wanted to make you happy. So that is not manipulation, right? It's not like he was out here putting handcuffs on these girls and like chaining them to tables saying, you have to strip naked, you have to do this for me. The girls chose to do it. These are adults, you know, these girls are adults, 18 plus. They can get up and leave. So if they chose to do these things for him because of the emotions, that's not on him, that's on them. Emotions are not valid points to arrest someone or put them in jail. If everything was based on emotions, all of us would be in jail. Let's just say that, guys. Trust me.
Charges. The first one you mentioned, the rape one's already been thrown out by a judge because there's no evidence of it.
So again, with the scenarios, by the way, I'm still waiting for a closure below this. So closure below this, I will look for trade. So anyway, let's go back into it.
Secondly, it's very difficult for me to sit here and have a very frank and honest conversation with you while we're in the territory of Romania about a legal case that's going on within Romania.
Can you share
I
the
have to
sound,
protect
bro,
myself.
please?
I've agreed
I see the full one, bro, on Rumble.
There you go.
I think
to do
Andrew
this
Tate
interview with
posted
you.
on
I want to be
Rumble.
as honest with you as possible, but I can't incriminate myself in any way, and I have to be very careful with what I talk about.
There are no charges yet.
Correct. There
A
are no
judge
charges.
has said that
There are
more
no charges,
evidence
and
must
I've agreed to speak to you, but I have to be as honest and frank as I can while also protecting myself and following my legal counsel.
So let's talk about what you've said yourself then. You have said on the website, for your original website for the Hustlers University, that you emotionally manipulated women to fall in love with you.
See, she keeps on saying the fact you emotionally manipulated.
bro.
Emotional manipulation is not a valid point to say, oh, this man is guilty. He emotionally manipulate. That's if emotional manipulation was a valid point, right? Every person would be in jail. Mark my words. Because females are emotional creatures, and they are more emotional than men. And so that's because we're two different genders, right? Two different genders. So this is where you go back to the point of like, why are these females even letting a man like him emotionally manipulate them? You know, like obviously from my culture now, a female can't really be emotionally manipulated by a man unless they're married, because you're not really allowed to mingle with a man unless you're married with them, right? Unless your father's there or your brother's there. So this is why you have the walis in Islam, right? So think about it, right? Emotional manipulation. They keep on saying that emotional manipulation, men can emotionally manipulate women. Like, that's not a valid point to say he's a bad guy. Even
Bro.
if he's done it, it is what it is. Why did the girls let him
but-
emotionally manipulate them, you know?
In most of the cases are the girls that try to manipulate men. not men
Exactly,
who do
exactly,
girls, bro.
exactly. So now, because certain females are emotionally hurt, they have accused him of certain things, and now the guy's got to pay for it just because emotionally certain females have been hurt, but because they didn't get what they wanted out of it. See, that's the thing. Like, we live in a very, very dangerous society, guys. You have to be so careful, so careful with what you do. That's a man in power. If something like emotional manipulation can put him behind bars, me and you are nothing. So you have to be so careful.
So that you could get them working in the sex industry for your financial gain.
As I said, I have to be very careful with what I say.
There are so many men who are managing. Most of these OnlyFans models, they are controlled by men. Most of the men's are the
Facts,
ones.
bro.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is just the business. That's the nature of the business. Why are they not going and targeting everyone else? Why are they targeting this one man? Because it doesn't make sense, right? It really doesn't make. Go and search up your OnlyFans models. Like, most of them will be controlled by a man. There is a team behind it, you know. A man
bro,
is the
even-
one doing all the marketing for them, everything.
Even in Portugal, bro, are two YouTubers, like big YouTubers, that bring a girl to a house, you know,
Exactly.
like, and they do videos for YouTube, like vlog stuff. But
Exactly.
she creates a OnlyFans. I think they're managing their
Exactly.
the
Exactly.
OnlyFans, you know,
Exactly. So,
bro. And she earns like 60K in 1 month. 1 month.
bro, forget about 60K, bro. Do you know about the?
Yeah, I know, bro. But that's in Portugal, bro. You
Cash
know.
me
Like,
outside. How about that? Cash me outside. How about that? Have you seen the Cash Me Outside girl? What's her name? Bad Baby or something? Bad Cash Me Outside. Yeah, her name was Bad Baby, I think. Let me show you guys how much she made from OnlyFans. Let's just go into it. You guys will see, right? How much she made from OnlyFans.
saying like in Portugal, bro. Like,
Bro, do you know how much money
One
she
girl,
made from OnlyFans? Income from only. Do you know how much she made from OnlyFans, guys? Let me show you. Look at this.
holy.
Look at this. And she went viral for saying, "Cash me outside, how about that? Cash me outside, how about that?" But do you think this lady here has done it on her own?
God, bro.
No, there are men.
52
There are
billion.
men. There are men behind her who got her to this point. There are smart men who understand that they could have used something to actually generate a lot of wealth from. So there are still men. If you actually look at her management, let's look at Bad Baby's management. So now think about it, right? Yes, 52 million. Let's look at her management, right? Let's just look at her management. Look at that. It's all men. All men. Look at that. Men, men, men. Look at that. I don't see any women here. So now think about it, right? If men are the ones who got her to this point, now if this was to go wrong, all of a sudden men are the one who manipulated her, emotionally manipulated her into doing these things. But at the moment she wants to be emotionally manipulated because she's made 52 millions from this, you understand? So trust me guys, like, that's not a valid point. Emotional manipulation is not a valid point to put someone behind bars.
Let's put it this way. No women are coming out against me and accusing me of doing it.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
What do you mean by this? Yes, they are. I could pay an actress to, you know, go against him. Like, that's again not a valid point. You need to show evidence that this was done. That's like me saying, yeah, there are women out there saying that, you know, I'm a bad guy. Who cares? Show me a valid point that I'm a bad guy. What have I done that makes me a bad guy? This is again not a valid point. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Bro, she's just pissing me off, man.
No, they're not. Who?
There's testimony from the current investigation.
The current investigation, which I cannot discuss, which I know intimately and you don't, I can tell you right now.
Bro, are we trading anymore today? Yes, we are looking for some trades. Also, happy birthday. Appreciate that, my brother. Thank you for the wishes. But yeah, I need something below this. At the moment, it's quite bullish, so stay now. We still have plenty of time left, so yeah.
That the women who are in this case file, there are 2 American women who have been caught already admitting they're lying, and then nobody else.
Okay, so why are the American women from the West are the ones who are saying, oh, we got manipulated by him? Why are the women from Romania not coming against him where he is based? He probably has a lot of women from Romania coming over to his nice fancy house. So why are those women not coming against him? Because they are not westernized, are they? So think about it, guys. Is the Western influence that's, again, making these female very masculine, you know, and giving them so much power, whereas like other countries would say, what, why are you talking shit about manipulated? Why did you put yourself in that place in the first place anyway, right?
Else is accusing me of anything.
To begin with, it's very common in cases like this that the alleged victims do not always see themselves as victims.
Well, that's very interesting.
What?
Oh my God.
What? How does that make sense? Like, she's forcing him to say, oh, you have done this. It's like, it's very common in these cases that alleged victims, they feel like they were not the victims. What? How does that make sense? So you want the victims to become victims when the victims don't want to be victims. How does that make sense? It's like they want to arrest him. It just makes no sense. It just like, this is so low IQ conversation. These lot are just dumb. It makes no sense, man.
It's actually extremely interesting because if I was a matrix controlled organization and my goal was to slander somebody and try and destroy their name, you're telling me that they've chosen a crime which, 1, is heinous, of course, because it damages the person's credibility, and 2, you're saying that even if everyone else involved, if you have 5 people and everyone's sitting there saying, no, nobody's hurt anybody, we like Andrew, we've all worked together, or we're friends, etc.
That's not what everybody's saying.
No.
Let me read you some of the testimony from the current investigation.
Can I finish this?
One of the witnesses said...
Can I finish this?
You're not answering...
Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. They know people who are watching the BBC have a short attention span, right? Now, the minute he says something, that's it, they cut him off. 2-3 seconds, they see the way they're playing these manipulation tactics, right? He's like, he's about to say the real thing, he's about to make his point, boom, cut him off there, don't let him finish. Because they don't want people to understand his point. And now she's gonna start saying BS again, because people have a very low attention span. She's all of a sudden say, you've done this, you've done that, you've done that. Then again, they're gonna give people a breather as soon as he starts talking. But as soon as he's about to make a point, cut him off there. Bro, this is a clean manipulation tactic, man. Because they understand.
The thing is, bro, he's talking and she starts to talk behind him. Like, bro, that's so low, you know.
Bro, it's not low, it's a manipulation tactic. They don't want him to finish his point, because then if he finishes his point, then people will understand what he means. So they don't want people to understand what he means, because it's a propaganda. BBC is just washed, the biggest puppets.
Can I finish, please?
You're not answering the question.
I am answering the question. You're saying...
Let me read you the testimony of one of the witnesses.
See, again, you're not answering the question. She's saying all... See, this is your negative feedback loop. Again, putting that into... Because you got to understand, people watching him, majority will be actually interested in this interview, interested in both perspectives, and look at the sort of feedback loop she's feeding to all the viewers. Oh, you are not answering the questions. And not many people are going to actually sit here and watch this interview and actually, like, you know, try and understand this. People are just there to quickly hear what she's saying, what he's saying, and you know, people are gonna make up assumption just based off it quickly, right? And all you hear is like, you're not answering the question, you're hiding this. But when you actually sit there and think about what he's saying, they never let him finish the point.
You're saying the people who are involved in this, even if they say they're not victims, that they're still going to try and attack me and pretend they're victims.
Treated as victims by the case that's ongoing, and not all of them.
Exactly, but who is the one that's controlling the case? Who is in control of the case? Is the system, is the law. That's the whole point. That's his enemy. That's like saying, right, my enemy is in control of if I will die or not. Of course my enemy wants me to die because I am his enemy. How does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic behind this conversation. Honestly, there is zero logic behind this conversation. Okay, by the way, we've got a couple more minutes left. Should be setting up nicely, but I do need a confirmation below this area. Cells below this would be clean. Let's give it a couple more minutes. Anyway, so let's go back to this, right?
I'm saying that one of the witnesses says
We can't go into the case.
And see what they're trying to do now. They want him to say something which they can again use to incriminate him. And so BBC, being the puppets sent by the system, they want to incriminate him in front of the camera. This is so silly, man. Like, but the guy is very smart. He's not going to be incriminated either.
The case is open and active.
Well, let's just be clear that not all of the witnesses in the case are behaving in the way you describe. And even those that are, it doesn't bar them from being treated.
Look at her body language. Just look at her face. She's got personal agenda against this guy. She doesn't like him. She dislikes him. You can just tell by her body language. Look at her eyes squinting, you know. Look at her. Does she look like a happy person? She looks like a miserable old person, man. Look at her, bro. Doesn't even seem like she had her like food today. Like, look at her. She's miserable today. So she's against him. She should not have any sort of bias before interviewing someone like him. She should be open-minded. She should just interview him, not have a bias against him. And clearly she's got agenda against him as well.
As victims,
I wonder why.
By the prosecution, by the case.
We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely not really sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely not really, I've never hurt anybody, that the case that's been put against me is completely and utterly fabricated. And I'm never going to be found guilty of anything. And it's very difficult for me to answer your in-depth questions because we're sitting here inside of the territory of Romania. I'm beholden to the Romanian legal system. And I'm not going to incriminate myself because you're trying to prod me. You are wrong, and we're going to have to accept that for now and ask and talk about something else.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think that's
exactly what
no,
you said.
That's no, I've never said that. That's something that you found.
Okay, even if he has said it, let's say, right? But first of all, what is the valid source that he said it? Is it because he was it like a voice note? I can find you people replicating the voice of anyone. If your voice is on the internet, it can be replicated. That's the power of AI. Is it a text message? It can be fabricated. So when did he say it? Was it like on a live stream in front of thousands and thousands of people? He's like, I'm Andrew Tate and this is what I believe. It's not a valid source. That's like the most silliest thing. What the hell? Everything can be replicated. Do you think people can't replicate messages or voice notes? So unless he says it, he goes to an interview, he goes to, in front of BBC, they sit down, it's live, everyone's watching, he says, I'm Andrew Tate and I went on couple dates with a female, made her fall in love with me, so she does everything I tell her to do. It's not a valid source. It doesn't make sense. That's so stupid. Everything she throws his way is stupid, man.
Found on the internet doesn't mean I've said it. And again, once again, if any female on the planet has a problem with me, I strongly recommend her to go to the police and try and pursue me for criminal charges. It's actually very...
Thank you very much. Exactly. If any female has a problem, bro, you could have a female who wakes up tomorrow, she's like, he's a misogynist, I don't like him, I've met him before, let me go and attack him. Go and attack him, but what evidence do you have? You're gonna say he manipulated you emotionally. What kind of, that makes no sense. If we were to start using emotions as a valid point in the court case, it makes no sense. Everyone would be behind bars if it was emotions which was a valid evidence. It's not for a reason. Emotions change. 1 minute the girl could be against you, couple minutes later you treat her nicely, whatever, now she's your best friend, you know, she's your lover again. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're emotional creatures, so we can't have a valid point based on emotions. It has to be based on logic, evidence, and there is no logic behind what she is saying. It's all stupid.
Very interesting that me, one of the most famous people in the world, who's been vilified by the legacy media and places all over the internet, while everyone has attacked me from every single angle, while federal agencies from multiple countries have called over 2,000 women who know me, we stand here with 0 new accusations since my arrest. 0. If you took any famous person, any man of substantial wealth, and you called 2,000 women who knew him, you'd find an ex-girlfriend is upset, somebody who wants money who's upset. They called 2,000 people who knew me and could not find a single woman to make a new complaint. The only complaints they have against me are the initial complaints, which we can prove are lies, and that's where it stands. So I'm not going to sit here and allow you to pretend that I'm some kind of evil predator, when actually I'd argue the fact that people who've been investigated to the level I've been investigated to, if you were to take the average man on the street and investigate his entire life for 14 months, call everyone who's ever known him, and vilify him in the media, and encourage people to come forward for money, and you try to contact every ex-girlfriend he's ever had.
Would come forward and accuse those people of rape and accuse those people
I think that you would have a lot more. I think you would have a lot more flack than I've got. I'm actually such a nice person that I've never.
110%. Take any top footballer, take any top actor. Rape case is very common, very common. Accusations are very common. That is the most common thing in the West. The most common thing in the West. So take any actor, take any footballer, they must have gone through something like this. I'm not saying everyone, but it's a very common thing. Very, very common thing. Especially in the West, it's really common.
Never had anyone spoken to somebody since your arrest who says exactly those things, that with you it's all manipulation, there's an ulterior
Is this Sophie?
Everything
Is this Sophie? Oh, it's Sophie, the fake name, no face, the story that was invented.
Wanting to please him and wanting him to be happy, that I was just kind of, yeah, okay.
Wait, so I don't understand, right? What has BBC actually gained out of this interview? I actually don't understand it, because all of this is just flawed. This is all stupid. It just made this woman seem like
it doesn't look like an interview, bro. You know, because the interview has the presentation, the middle, and the hand.
What exactly have we achieved out of watching this? If we were watching BBC, right? What exactly is BBC trying to put out there? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. All they've done is hired a woman who seems like she's sleep deprived. She's literally about to die. She's not had her morning coffee or whatever. It's that time of the month for her, and she's just attacking Andrew Tate on everything that's invalid. So what exactly have they gained out of this interview? Can someone actually answer? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Like, this is just nonsense.
Whatever you want.
And what has she accused? Has she accused me of a crime? This imaginary Sophie?
She's making the point that there is.
Has she accused me of a crime?
Emotional or psychological manipulation.
I've asked you a question and I've allowed you into my house.
So all her point was, Andrew Tate has psychologically and emotionally manipulated women to get himself rich. Get out of here, man. It's a waste of time, honestly. These lot are a waste of time. That's all I hear, honestly. That's all I hear. It makes no sense. 0 sense. But it's the system. They want you to stay in the matrix, and they don't like us people who talk about the matrix, and we will give you a way to escape the matrix. They hate us, don't they? Anyway, looking at this now, hasn't really set anything up, to be fair. What about the people watching? What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think he's a bad guy? I personally, I can't really vouch for him when it comes to like everything, but I can vouch for him when he says men should be strong, like business wise, physique wise, mindset wise. When it comes to like all the other stuff, because I don't know the guy like that, I'm not gonna vouch for him, so I can't vouch for him completely. But you know, some of the things he says, they're very valid. I'm not against him, and you know, they are trying to shut him down. They've had so many attempts to shut him down, and he's a G. He always comes back. He's actually a G.
It's not easy, bro. 90 days in a solitary, bro. That's
Yeah.
most of the people will be crazy, man.
Yeah, I don't agree with everything he says, but a lot of the times he's correct. Exactly, I don't agree with everything he says either, because you would need to be very dumb to just blindly fall for Andrew Tate, right? So I don't believe in everything he says as well. But when it comes to him speaking against the system, and that's completely right. But you gotta understand, a lot of the times everything he says is for his own financial gain anyway, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you don't want to blindly just believe Andrew Tate. Like, you know, he don't turn him into a cult leader. He's just a human. That's who he is. But what he does, what he is selling is the matrix, the system is actually a genuine thing, right? So in that sense, he really is, you know, doing a lot of damage to the system. Not in a way where people might think, oh, Andrew Tate is talking about the system and now they hate him, they're gonna come against him. No. But he is genuinely doing some damage to the system, in a sense where he's getting men to start becoming emotionally more resilient, emotionally stronger. And if a man is emotionally stronger, his T levels are very high, it's very hard to have that man submit to you. You know, it's very hard. But when you have men filled with low T levels, more estrogen than, you know, T levels, man, it's very hard to control those kind of men, you know, kind of like, because they have more of the feminine traits than masculine traits. It's very hard to have men like that be controlled, and that's what they want the control. So in a way, a lot of the things that he is saying is like very much dangerous to the people in power. So in that sense, you know, he's a G. But when it comes to like some of the things he says about women as well, I don't really agree with it, because I kind of agree with what my religion says, not really what Andrew Tate says. He's not really a prophet, is he? So yeah, that's not something I don't look up to him for guidance or guidelines. But when it comes to the West, and he talks about all the things going on in the West, he's probably one of the best people to go to. I think anything below this could give you a clean range to the downside, because think about the previous candle, it's actually quite bullish, and you do need that candle, that one candle which makes the previous candle invalid. And so again, have an imbalance down here. We have major imbalance down here as well, when you actually think about it, below the daily 50%. So this is where now, if the news flow is done, they can give you some sort of a downside play. But going against this massive bullish candle is very dangerous, very dangerous.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's 4 o'clock. It's kind of
Very
dangerous.
slow session as well, yeah. Let's see if they give you like a closure in the next 6 minutes or so. Momentum looks very slow at the moment. Yeah, 100%. It's kind of tricky taking something now, because you got plenty of rejections still left. It's a Monday, guys. There's no need to push it. It's a Monday. We can come back tomorrow and kill it. Okay, guys. You know what? Going to call it a session here. Let's give it the next 5 minutes. Just want to see what happens here, and then if, let's say, we don't get something sweet, then we'll be calling it a session here for sure. One thing I want to again check out is the, you know, Fresh and Fit podcast. They done like live stream in person where they had like everyone. I think it was this one. See, with the CEO. This is so sick. I need to watch this as well.
Ready to take.
With this was sick, man. This was so sick. This guy is a joker, man. I'll be honest with you. This guy is a joker. But yeah, check this guy, guys. Check this out. You know, check this out whenever you have time. This one, you really want to check this out. Good stuff here, honestly. It's like 3 hours long, but it's really good stuff. Check this out.
Fresh and Fit Live Podcast, brought to you by the Xauusd. Ladies and
But yeah, team, we're gonna be calling you a session here. Thank you guys for tuning in once again, guys. Make sure you are in the Discord. Follow us on Insta. Drop a like on the stream. We'll be back tomorrow.